collaborate on the reel, you're gonna get a bonus 10 points. You are allowed to do this virtual passport up to 3 times. Do not put the same people on the form 3 times. You will be disqualified. Other than that, I just want you guys to meet people, say hi, just say, hey, who are you? Get their social media handle, play the game, and good luck.
Let's go, let's go. Thank you, Bobby, for giving us details about that and clarity. It's almost that time, y'all. Tonight is about becoming more. Let me hear you say more. If there's an area in your life that you want more happiness, more peace, more joy, more impact, more money, more networks, more clients, more customers, more contracts, more agreements. Let me hear you say more. If you want more stamina, more endurance, more creativity, let me hear you say more. If you came here today with the expectation and the anticipation of becoming and experiencing more, let me hear you say more. If you did good, but you know you can do better. If you experienced some tough lessons, but now they blessings, let me hear you say more. If you experienced some trials and tribulations, but you know that your life and your legacy, there's more to it, let me hear you say more. If you believe in your brother, if you believe in your sister, if you believe in your husband, if you believe in your wife, if you believe in your children, if you believe in the vision, if you believe in the dream, if you believe in your community, let me hear you say more. There's a certain time and season in your life where you stop playing. When you say enough is enough. There comes a certain time in life where you get tired of watching the Joneses win. You get tired of going on social media and scrolling and seeing everybody happy and seeing everybody healthy and seeing everybody wealthy and seeing everybody make impact and seeing everybody accomplish new goals and dreams. But what about you? What about me? What about us? And the truth of the matter is we need more. We need more collaborations. We need more events. We need more unity. We need more honor. We need more respect. We need more services. We need more products. We need more. And that's not about you being ungrateful. It's not about you saying I'm not satisfied, I don't appreciate it. It's about you understanding that this thing called life has so much more for us. And we gotta stop settling. Let me hear you say stop settling. Stop settling. Let me hear you say stop settling. Stop settling. Because in order for you to get more, you're gonna have to do more. In order for you to become more, you're gonna have to invest in more. And once you invest in more, you become more. And that's why we showed up. Not for the content, not for the business cards, not for the flicks and pictures. We came to be poured into. I said we came to be poured into. We came to pour into. We came to collaborate. We came to unite. We came to win. We came to succeed. We came to impact. So if you came for more, let me hear you say more. And I came for more. And the gentleman that I'm about to introduce, he lives and breathes and edifies and reflects the concept of becoming more. More than him. More than them. More than us. So yes, I'll read his bio. But you gotta show me who you are besides the words, and it's about action. Let me hear you say, take action. Take action. That's what this king does. He takes action, day by day, second by second, project by project, partnership by partnership. He invests in the process of more by taking action. So let me introduce Mr. Hakeem Herring, who is one of the founders of Wealth Partners and a visionary behind Pathways to Wealth, a movement dedicated to helping individual families, entrepreneurs, and community build generational wealth through education, ownership, strategic partnership, and a respected real estate business professional, an entrepreneur, a community leader. Hakeem has spent more than 2 decades, I said 2 decades, connecting people with the resources, the relationships, and opportunities needed to create a lasting financial success. And his mission, hold on, I ain't done. His mission is to empower others to invest in themselves, their families, their businesses, their communities while creating pathways to ownership, opportunities, and legacy. Let me hear you say more. Let me hear you say more. Let me hear you say more.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Pathways to Wealth. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. This is a movement that we're creating. This is a journey for success. You know, Pathways to Wealth came about as a vision where I understood that the key to success is about access. It's about bringing like-minded individuals, industry professionals, to a room, to a space where we can share knowledge, resources, and opportunity. I'm gonna tell you a little story about myself that many don't know. I started this journey 3 years ago with one decision, that I was gonna show up every Saturday, every single Saturday. Some Saturdays people came. Some Saturdays just a few. There were some Saturdays when no one showed up. And I thought the whole time I was building Wealth Partners. But the truth is, God was building me. He was building a leader. And in order to grow and become more, God has to expand your capacity. I had more focus, more intentionality, more determined. That was built through those Saturdays. And now we're here. Now we have arrived to Pathways to Wealth. And tonight, you're going to hear from industry professionals and leaders, because I truly believe in investing in ourselves to become more. Once we invest in ourselves, we can invest in our families. Once we invest in our families, we can invest in our businesses to become more. Once we invest in our businesses, we turn around and invest in our communities to build, to grow, to make a change. And once we invest in our community, we invest in the future. Each of our panels are designated intentionally to bring forth a change, because we're here because we want more. And if you're ready to become more, let me hear you say more.
More!
Let me hear you say more.
More!
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go!
So get ready for the first session, for the first panel, and get ready for a great evening. Thank you so much, and welcome to Pathways to Wealth.
Let's go, let's go! Game changer alert, game changer alert. Here we go. As we get ready for our next panel of empowerment, I said game changer alert. Our moderator for 2 of tonight's panels is Mrs. LaToya Strong, a community strategist, entrepreneur, and licensed realtor whose work bridges real estate, financial empowerment, and connection. As a founder of Strong Foundation and the visionary behind The Strong Connector, I said The Strong Connector, LaToya equips families, professionals, and communities with the tools and relationships they need to grow. With over 15 years, I said 15 years of experience in banking, real estate, and community building, she's known for helping people find pathways they didn't know existed, and for reminding us that connection is currency. I said connection is currency. Matter of fact, let me say connection is currency. Connection Grounded in faith, excellence, and purpose, LaToya leads with authenticity and heart. Please welcome Mrs. LaToya Strong, moderator for our Empowerment and Young Money panel. Let's go, let's go.
Thank you. I would first like to start by letting you know I'm going to be seated. My knee cannot do no more right now, so I'm going to take a seat. Tonight is about becoming more, as you've already heard. Not about the titles, not about status, but truly about identity. That requires being still, being in the know, taking a breath, taking a pause. So before we get started with this powerful panel, I would like everyone to just take a breath, take a moment of silence. I'm not sure where you traveled from, what arrangements needed to be made, what preparation, but you chose this event. You chose to become more. You could be anywhere else on a Saturday. So just 10 seconds to just breathe. Thank you. This next panel is extremely powerful. I personally have became more from each of the ladies that you'll hear from tonight. So I would like to bring the panel up and let you hear from their perspectives the steps, the preparation, the blueprint of what it truly means to become more. Back to the audience. When you hear those two words, becoming more, what do they mean to you personally? Is the first question I'd like to ask, and I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Analia Howard.
Good evening, everyone. Let's see if my microphone is on. Okay, my microphone is on. Becoming more is, first of all, let me thank you for having us here. We are excited and thankful to be here. Becoming more really, to me, starts with being intentional. Everything that we do, we need to be intentional about it. Everything that we do is not going to be wonderful, amazing. It's not going to get the gold ribbon that we expect it to get immediately. But if we're intentional about it and we are working and focused and we make sure that we're putting our heart to it and we're putting the intentionality behind it, that is how I believe we can have more, because we're focused. That means we've looked at our goal, targeted what we wanted, and put in the work in order to get to that next level. So for me, that is more intentionality.
That's really good. Moving on to Catherine Gomez. Same question. I'm moving down the panel. When you hear that, if you wouldn't mind expanding a little more for today's audience.
Good evening, everyone. For me, so becoming more initially was becoming more credentialed, more licensed, more experienced, more educated, chasing validation. And until I achieved that level of success and realized that my body was broken as a result of chasing more. So becoming more became becoming more resilient, more capable, more healthy, more consciously aware of the cost of the chase. So for me, becoming more is about truly understanding what you're sacrificing in the chase and deciding if it's worth the cost.
Absolutely. Greetings, everyone. My mic is on. Is my mic on? No.
Press the button.
Is my mic on?
No. Share. There we go.
Is my mic on?
Yes.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Cheryl Marie of Mindset by Design and Top Notch Academy of Real Estate. What does more, becoming more mean? I would suggest that we first define more. What does the word more mean to you? For a lot of people, as soon as they hear the word more, they immediately think quantity. And more is not necessarily quantity. And we'll get deeper into that as we continue, but it's a mindset of what more is for you and how you move forward. Too often we get bogged down in having more than this person or more than that person, or I have less than them, but that's not what more is. And hopefully before you leave today, more will mean more to you than quantity. Thank you.
That was really good, and I do apologize. I did not give this powerful panel their proper introduction. So taking it back over to Cheryl, if you wouldn't mind, leadership, coaching, education, just to elaborate a little more about why this panel is so powerful. It's going to set the tone for the rest of the evening, but more background about the amazing work that you all have been doing and you continue to do.
Absolutely, and in order for me to do that, I have to first give God all of the glory for who I am and to whom I belong. So you're looking at a girl that didn't come from all of this beautiful stuff, right? You're looking at a girl who has come through a lot, and if I was to ever get into it with you, and some of you will, because I have leadership retreats and retreats for just women 24 hours and 48 hours. You have to stay with me that long and get in the mirror, you understand. But I have a program called this Mindset by Design. And it is about designing your mindset. So basically you have to get in the mirror, other than to see how your hair is done and if your lipstick is on straight. And then the other program is Top Notch Academy of Real Estate. Top Notch Academy of Real Estate offers programs for those who want to become real estate professionals as agents, those who are already agents and want to become brokers, and then those who want to do the continuing education which is required to keep your license in the states of Georgia and South Carolina. So we're moving forward today talking about leadership, bringing your careers and your personal life on one accord. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Catherine Gomez, and I am a licensed speech and language pathologist with more years of experience than I care to admit. I've been working with patients across the lifespan from NICU to end of life. I also happen to be a yoga, Pilates, meditation, breath work, wellness coach. And part of what led me there was the chase of the accolades that really broke my body, and finding myself in a position where I could not sustain the success I achieved or reach further because I was so exhausted, depleted, and I was really sacrificing more than I was gaining. And that shifted my mindset, and then I realized that there's magic in breath, there's magic in slowing down, there's magic in rest. And I think in our communities, our highly melanated communities, we tend to think that we have to earn our rest, we have to reward ourselves with rest. That resting means we're being lazy, we're often taught that. And it's at the detriment of our bodies. So really my focus became becoming more capable, more resilient from a nervous system perspective.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Angelita Howard. 20 plus years in education, building systems, building programs, people, taking institutions, universities, colleges from 0 programs to 100 programs, from negative to the positive, hundreds, thousands, millions, and just really been able to think about how we drive systems and processes to make things a little bit better, make change better, not always easier, but better, and then at some point easier. Coupled with that, I have a ministry called Season 2911 for those who, churched, unchurched, if you just got out of prison, if you're going there, if you're thinking about life, whatever. However, if you've been up, down, all around, what I realize is that people can sometimes just be ugly. People in places that we expect healing doesn't always happen. And so Season 2911 really speaks to that. It's virtual, it's a virtual Bible study, it's a virtual table talk, authentic table talk, where we are coming together, we're talking about Jesus and nobody else. We're shining about showing love, kindness, because that is what I needed. Being in the church all of my life and seeing all of the things that I've seen. I'm a Christian, I love God, I still go to church. But I realized that there are people who need healing from the inside out, and that is exactly what season 2911 is. So I'm glad to be here, and thanks again.
So you heard Dr. Howard, 2911, that can be followed on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Join the community no matter what phase of life you're in. We're gonna jump right into these questions, starting back over with Cheryl. You often say that wealth begins long before someone earns more money or buys their first home. Will you explain your philosophy, Cheryl, or mindset, education, leadership, and wealth, and why you believe mindset is the true foundation of financial success?
Absolutely. I love this question. Do you love this question?
Yes, ma'am.
I love this question because it all starts with mindset. Now, you can make up your mind about something that you want to do. Some of you are making up your mind about something just from what we've been talking about thus far. But we will make up our minds about something, but it doesn't connect with the heart. And if you don't connect your heart and your mind, sooner or later you'll go to something else. And then something else. But when you make up your mind and you get on one accord, you need education at that point. But some of us like to skip past that and just do it, you know, shoot from the hip kind of thing. And some of us are afraid of failure, so we will not even try it. But in the game of baseball, let's say you hit the ball and you get on first. You got to get off first because your teammate is coming up. And both of you can't be on the base at the same time. So you got to get off the base. So that's mindset. There's education. And all that goes with this in order to get to wealth. Then you have to define what wealth is for you. Wealth is not necessarily money. For people like myself, wealth is great health. I don't know about you. But if you have great health, if you're able to put both feet on the floor when you get up in the morning, if you can feel the blood flowing through your veins, if when you go in the bathroom you can turn the light switch on and boom, lights are on. If you get in the shower and you decide that you want hot water, cold water, lukewarm, hot as my skin can stand it, on and on and on. That's wealth to me. That's wealth to me. Then I get out. I can go in the closet. Do I want to wear this? Do I want to wear that? I actually have a choice. Then, oh my God, I started the car because I have one. And it started because gas is in it. And then I can comprehend and get from point A to point B. Comprehension. I'm in my right mind. At least I think so. Others may disagree. But I can get from point A to point B. All because my mindset is defined by what I believe, not what you believe, not how you're rolling, not how you're doing. It's all in what I believe in that mirror. I'm challenging you to get in the mirror and truly work on yourself. Because contrary to popular belief, I am the only person on this earth that I have control over. Thus, when I'm making a difference, it's going to start with me. And if I want change in my community, in my home, in this world, I truly believe it starts with me. So I hope that you'll get there today if you're not already. That mindset is the primary area to be if you want to go further on this earth. Thank you.
Cheryl, I couldn't agree more with everything you just stated. And in summary, believe what you are becoming. We're going to move on to Catherine. I call her Kat. There's a cultural shift happening. People are pushing back on hustle culture and talking openly about burnout, boundaries, and the soft life. From a healthcare perspective, is that a retreat from ambition, or is rest actually a wealth strategy?
I love this question because I think that we have decided somewhere along the way that ambition and rest are opposites. And in fact, they're partners. How many of us can relate to a 3 o'clock in the morning wake up with a great idea that you don't remember in the morning? or that word that finally came to you in the middle of your rest. We understand what it feels like to be exhausted and depleted. We all do it. And how often do we allow yesterday's stress to impact today's decisions? We carry over that stress, we don't close the cycle. The fact of the matter is that a rested mind is more creative, is more resilient, is more excited, is more passionate. But more importantly, what is the purpose of the success if you don't have health to enjoy it? You build this life and then you're in a hospital bed, you're broken, you have chronic illness, autoimmune disease. I mean, there's so many things that we can enjoy that could have been prevented if we allowed ourselves to breathe. Rest and ambition go hand in hand. You are more ambitious because you're better rested. That is when your ideas flow. That's when your brain is at its optimal performance. So give yourselves the opportunity to really rest your mind, your spirit, your body. Take a breath. Success doesn't have to come at the expense of your body, at the expense of your health, at the expense of your family, your children, the things that you care about. It really shouldn't. And you can have both. You just have to be mindful about it.
And I'll have you all sit with that right there. Success means nothing without your help. Moving right on to Dr. Howard. AI is rewriting the rules of nearly every profession represented in this room. Some people see a threat. You see an invitation to become more. How should the leaders here be retooling themselves right now? And what happens to the ones who wait?
So let me ask a question. Who uses AI in here? Be honest. It's all right, no judgment. Okay, all right, and that's good. And do you, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 mean you love it, raise your hand. You love it, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what does it take for AI to work? I'm sorry? You. And what do you have to do in order for it to work? You have to do what? You have to teach it. And if you don't teach it, what is it gonna do? It's gonna do whatever it wants. So who then has the power?
Say that.
Who has the power? You. You have the power. AI is a tool. For instance, you can tell me right now, you can say, you know what, Angelita, I want you to sing I Love the Lord. And I can say, you know what, I love the Lord. And then you can say, no, I want you to take in a deep breath, as our yoga Pilates person says, and I want you to belt it out. I love the Lord. And you're like, no, that's still not it. But AI gets better and better when we teach it. So in order for things and people to get better and better, you still have to put in the work. Do not allow AI or any other tool to make you lazy, mentally lazy. Is it production? Yes. Sometimes, absolutely. It spells, it does all of that. But you have to be the teacher. And if you want to go around sounding like a robot, and saying the same things over and over and over, you're going to be stuck there. Because AI just 30, 40 years ago, when everybody, the World Wide Wide, WWW came, what did everybody say it do? What happened when the web, internet came, the WWW came? What happened? Y'all, we know. People were panicking. Oh my gosh, it's going to take over. Everything is going to take over. We're still waiting for it to take over. It's not going to take over. AI is a tool. It is a tool that we use, but it's the tool just like a scalpel. There's some great things about a robot that goes in the belly or the stomach as a medical surgeon, but if the surgeon is not there to guide the robot and have conversations with the patient prior to even know, then it's just a tool. So don't become too relaxed. Don't become too afraid. The only way people can take jobs from you, opportunities from you, is if what? You give them to it. So don't give them to it. Learn it, build it, grow it. It's not your friend, so you don't have to trust it. There are still therapists out here. Go talk to a real therapist. You don't have to talk to the AI. There are some people. Come talk to Kat. Keep retooling. Understand your value proposition. When you understand your value proposition, no one takes that. My mom is right here. She always say, when you get it here, 20 years later, because I'm just 21, I still hear her say, when you get it here, nobody can take it away. AI can't take that away, but AI can take it if you put it in and all you spitting out is AI. They can take that away. But what you learn and what you grow and how you do it, they can't take it away. It's a tool. That's it.
Thank you. So I'm getting a lot of, we are at time. This panel, we could go on and on, but what you heard Dr. Howard say, it's a tool. You control how that tool can be used. It doesn't have your experience, it doesn't have your expertise. We're gonna close out this panel, and I have one final question for you ladies here on the panel. Give this room one decision, something every person here can decide tonight before they leave the room that starts their journey of becoming more. Because I'm here to tell you, it's happening today. Let's start with you, Cheryl, to close us
How
out.
did I know that? One thing that you can do right now to take with you, and you started in this room tonight, if you're not doing it already, is to focus on the one person that you have control over and not blame anybody else for you not being where it is that you believe you should be right now. If you could just start that right now in the seat that you're in and open up that cage that you have in your heart, that you have some people locked in that you feel like did you wrong, right now in the seat that you're in, if you could open up that cage, unlock it and release those people so that you can be free to be who God has called you to be. Forgiving and getting back with people is not the same thing. Let these people out of your heart, because your heart and mind have to be on one accord in order for you to become more. Let them go right now where you sit. Thank you.
So everybody release and let them go.
Yes.
Kat, to close us out.
So I'm gonna ask everyone to go home tonight and have a real honest conversation with yourself and a real honest deep dive into your success. And I want you to really look at the cost of your success and figure out which part of your success is costing you more than it's worth. And then prioritize that. Really look at your return on investment, because at the end of the day, you are the investment. And if you're sick as a cost to it, it wasn't worth it. So make decisions with that thought in mind. Is this costing me more than it's worth? Thank you, guys.
They are deep. That's good. That's real. They're deep, and y'all have to do that. The only thing I'm gonna tell you to do is tonight or tomorrow, go get you some M&Ms, a sneaker, some candy, something that feels real good to you, something that makes you, that one treat that you like. And you look at it and you say, what was the founder of this treat? What did they do? What is one of the first things they did to make sure that I kept coming back to this good, sweet treat? Go get anything you want, chips, Coke Zero, whatever you're not, even if your doctor said, you need to probably only have one of those a week. Get that one today or tomorrow and think about what was the first thing this person may have thought of 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 100 years ago to make this product to where it is today. And whatever that one thing it is, I challenge you just to do that very one thing. Thank you.
Thank you. That wraps up panel one. It's all in the mindset. Let's continue on to hear this information, implement it, and have access is what we're here for and whole. Thank you.
Give that panel a round of applause. Give that panel a round of applause. If your family deserves the best version of you, let me hear you say more. More! Okay, so now before we get ready for our next panel, which is just going to be so impactful. Let's give a quick couple of shout outs as we transition to family and legacy. Quick shout out to some of our sponsors. We got Royce Richardson of EIAT Wealth Management and Aisha McBarrows of Country Financial for partnering with Wealth Partners and helping create greater access to financial education opportunity. So give our sponsors a round of applause. Game changer alert, Mrs. Carmelita Collier. Carmelita is a real estate advisor, educator, and visionary leader with more than 20 years of experience helping individuals, families, and entrepreneurs build wealth through real estate ownership. As the founder of Collier and Company Realty, take two. Carmelita Collier is a real estate advisor, educator, and visionary leader with more than 20 years of experience helping individuals, families, and entrepreneurs build wealth through real estate ownership. Let's help give Mrs. Carmelita Collier a round of applause. It might not be perfect, but we're going to get it right tonight. Let me hear you say, let's go, let's go. And if your life and your legacy deserve more, let me hear you say more.
You did wonderful.
I was trying to.
You did good.
I don't like my
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go. Thank you, Queen.
All right. How y'all doing? Good. How y'all doing? Awesome. So I get the privilege of introducing this dynamic panel that I'm going to bring up. We talked about the individual. Now we're going to talk about family. So I'm going to bring up attorney Amber Samuels. And Karina Orejo, loan officer, U.S. Mortgage, and Mr. Dre. I'm always known as Dre Parker, with the Money and Legacy team. All right, so this is going to be interactive, all right? We want y'all to talk to us, because we're going to talk to you. So we just talked about the individual, and now we want to focus on the family. And what does becoming more mean to families that are trying to build wealth? You can't be more until you're complete with wealth. So I'm gonna go to Amber and have Amber introduce herself briefly, and then talk about, in your own words, what legacy means to you, and what does it mean to be responsible with that legacy.
Hey y'all.
It's a quiet night. I know.
My name is Amber and I make trust fund babies.
Yes.
I don't remember what your question was, but I'm just going to.
What does legacy mean to you
Oh.
and responsibility of it?
So, I'm a lawyer, so everything depends on something. So I will try not to be too technical. Legacy is whatever you want it to be, really. Like, how do you want to be remembered? Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be your business and you, legacy, unless you want it to be, legacy means you pass that business down or whatever. It's how you define it. Because essentially, we're all gonna leave, whether we want to or not. We're gonna check out and we're gonna pay taxes. Those are two things.
And we won't die.
And so the question is, how do you want the people who care about you to remember you? And do you wanna leave them with a mess or do you wanna leave them with a lighter load than they had before?
Karina, same to you, Karina. Same question.
So for me, I think
Hi, everyone. So for me, I think legacy is just creating opportunities, mainly for our generations. I think it's very important that we think that it's not what we leave behind, but it's what we're creating for the future.
All right. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? Legacy to me is the life that you live, right? You have to live your life the correct way because you're gonna leave that behind. And that's what's gonna be remembered as your legacy. Your principles that you stood on and the impact that you made in the world, right? A lot of times we think about it as wealth or money, material. but legacy is in essence the spirit that you use to navigate through this world until you transition. So hopefully you're living a good life and you lead by example.
So since we talked about insurance, right? So the Be Your Own Bank and infinite banking conversations everywhere on social media right now, right? So some of it brilliant, some of it is just a sales pitch in disguise, right? How does the family use insurance as a true investment strategy, and how do they vet who they're buying it from?
I love that question because everybody loves 60 minutes of TikTok, right? Why don't everyone want to just say, let me sit down with a licensed professional and have the conversation? That's what people should be doing because you can't learn anything from 60 seconds on TikTok. So, did you guys ever wonder why companies like Bank of America have $24 billion in cash value life insurance? Is there something there that we're missing here? It is. Because building your own bank means that, hey, I can take life insurance and I get the proper structure of that life insurance policy and I can use it and collateralize it to actually be my own bank. Did you guys know that life insurance is one of the only products where you can borrow from your cash value, put it into things like real estate and stock market and other things, your business and stuff like that, and your money is still compounding and growing? So it has to be, don't fall for the hype, it has to be set up properly. A lot of times people think, oh, I'll get an IUL. Well, IUL is more like deferred banking. Dividend paying whole life is more like infinite banking. There's a big difference, so don't let nobody fool you on that. Because infinite banking is highly liquid. Cash value life insurance and the dividend paying whole life is highly liquid. IUL is not highly liquid. So when people come to us, the Money and Legacy team, they say, hey, we need this money to be liquid in 30 days. I can't put them in an IUL product because that's going to be more deferred banking. So it's very important that you have the right team, the right company. We're brokers, so we end up using about 89 different companies we have access to, and it has to be structured the proper way. So you guys got to really understand that not all IULs or not all dividend paying whole life policies are created equal, and you need to speak to a professional so you can know the good and the bad about creating your own bank.
Awesome. I like that. So let's get into it. Amber, you spoke about helping families protect what matters most and build legacies rooted in wisdom and purpose. So let's talk about trust protection, all right? Most families in our community have heard the word trust, but very few have one, okay? What does the trust actually protect the family from? Probate, lawsuits, predators, family conflict, and basically, what do we do with Big Mama's house when Big Mama passes away instead of fighting siblings?
Oh, I just want to echo my friend first. Don't listen to nobody on TikTok. Please. Because if it was that quick and easy, we would all have all of the money. Number one. Number two, don't call him and ask for something in 30 days if you don't have the money to fund it. Because that's the other thing. You have to fund those policies, and people will just think, oh, I can get it and get the money. You really think they're gonna give you this money and you didn't put anything in it? That makes any sense. So then they'll call me and say, hey, I want to get a trust because I want to make sure that creditors can't get to my stuff. Then you're not suing me to get your, I mean, are you on the run? Most of us do not need an irrevocable trust because you're going to pay higher in taxes and you can't be the trustee. Most of us can just use a revocable living trust so that when we pass away, our loved ones don't have to go to probate. Because let me tell you about probate court. If you write nothing else down and you don't listen to me for anything else, the purpose to probate court is to preserve your assets for the benefit of your creditors. They do not want you to pass away and not pay your debt off. So creditors get paid first. The IRS get paid first. Everybody gets paid first. We have someone who understands insurance, and we have someone who deals with mortgages. You want to leave Big Mama's house to somebody, but if they don't have enough money to pay for it, then they're going to have to sell it through probate anyway. So that's why you need life insurance, because the people who are left behind might not make enough income when you pass away. If you're married, people do that all the time. I'm going to leave my house to my spouse, but your income's gone, and this was a 2-income household. So how do you know that your surviving spouse can pay for it unless you had enough life insurance? That mortgage has to get paid, and it can't stay in your name when you pass away. So you need all three professionals. You need a financial advisor. You need all of those things because they will look at how much money does your survivor or your loved ones need to keep maintaining this lifestyle. I can write up anything and put it in the trust and make sure that everyone follows the rules, but if you don't have all the pieces, I mean, I'm just writing a piece of paper and then everybody still get paid. And get paid. And I don't want to take it for no reason. I'm going to send you back to someone else. We can put the house in there, but who's going to pay for the house? Because we know how to own it, but do we know how to maintain it? There's property tax. There's all these other things that people don't think about when they're just leaving someone with the house. And we don't want it to end up in the State Department of Unclaimed Property. Georgia gets enough money from all this.
So let's bring it back a little bit. So we talked about what we do with the house to protect it, but how do we get it? So Corinne, I'm gonna come to you. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is families bond together, multi-generational households, siblings co-buying, parents helping children into their first property. How do families do this right away so the home builds legacy instead of conflict?
Can you repeat your question?
Sure. So multi-family living, how does a family go about creating a multi-family, multi-generational home without conflict and things like that?
I think
Everybody can live together.
Well, I think the main thing whenever you're planning to purchase a home is that you have to have a conversation. You have to sit down with your family. If it's going to be mom, dad, 2 kids, you have to say who's going to be responsible for what. Just having those tough conversations, those tough questions. Who's going to pay the mortgage? What happens if somebody loses their job? Who's going to handle that? Just communication. I think for everything we're doing, it's just communication is the key on that.
Awesome, thank you. So we talked about the property, right? But I want to talk about something a little different, digital assets for you, Amber. So our lives are increasingly digital, right? Crypto wallets, online businesses, social media accounts, even the family photos are living the fight. Like I got a bunch of them. But what happens to a family's digital assets when there's no plan? And how do we protect that legacy if it is on paper anymore?
I would say, all the platforms that we use now have a way for you to say who can get access to it if you pass away. So Facebook has it, Instagram has it, and you have to you need to do it for your iPhone. They don't respond to subpoenas. No one will ever be able to get, it's very difficult. Through probate court, through any of those things, you can serve them all you want. It will stay private. And so then it'll be hard for someone to get access to whatever you have in your phone, whatever you have in your iCloud. If you don't have the password somewhere, there are services, software like LastPass, things like that, where you can save or you can share passwords and access for people, but you need to designate that. The one thing, I'm gonna jump because you probably gonna ask that, but I'm gonna say it wrong. So before you need to make an inventory of everything you have. I don't care if you put it on a spreadsheet. I would probably don't hide it in the file cabinet. Put it somewhere or tell someone so that they know where to find it if there's an emergency. Because at the end of the day, no one can have access to anything or do anything with any asset or property that is in your name unless you, before something happened, give them permission by power of attorney and over your body through a healthcare directive. So they need to be able to get in things and they need to know where it is. So even if you have an older parent and they give you access to something, if you don't know they had an account somewhere, people will always ask me after someone died, how do I figure out what they had? You might be out of luck. Because if they didn't tell you, there's no large database of assets sitting out there for us to go search. You have to tell people. So in our community and in most communities, people don't want to talk about their business because either you think somebody's gonna come get you, they're not. Nobody's gonna kill you for your stuff most of the time, hopefully. And you have to talk about it. You can't avoid it because all that does, there are two instances where you see the worst in people, where someone dies and when someone gets a divorce. And all these people who you think gonna get along, they gonna stop getting along as soon as you die. The people who didn't take care of you are gonna be the one falling out at the funeral, doing all of the things. They're gonna be the first ones asking for money, and people stop talking to each other. I've seen people fighting over cufflinks. Write it down. Let people know and have the conversation now so that if they have questions, so that everyone knows what to do beforehand. It's uncomfortable, but it will keep your family together. It doesn't matter how much money you make if nobody talks to each other anymore. That's not why you built it. You built it for their lives to be better, but it won't be because you're gonna see some ugly stuff if you don't have all of those things together. So from all your digital assets, even I had a relative pass away, and somebody on Facebook messaged me 6 months after he died saying, hey, that's my cousin, I know they're gone. Like, they hacked their account. And they were messaging people, and there might be someone who didn't know they passed away, and they're asking for money, doing things like that. You need to write down all those things, all those passwords, and make sure somebody has access to it in case of an emergency, so people can't scam you.
Awesome, that's great information. So, we're gonna pass this to the audience in a second, after I ask this one final question to the panelists, for everyone kind of answered it, but it can pass, okay. So, Farina, name one conversation every family represented in this room should have at home this week, and how would you start it?
I believe everybody should go today and think about where they want to be 5 years from now, you know, and also think about the short goals, not just the long goals, sorry. Just mainly thinking, what can I do today to change tomorrow, you know, and just celebrate yourself about the little things you do, because we only focus on the long term and then we say, oh, it's gonna be so hard. But if you celebrate yourself with those small goals, that the big goals are gonna make a difference also. Dre?
I love that, I love that. So, how many people want generational wealth here? Raise your hand. Okay, I highly recommend you go get my book, The Infinite Legacy Blueprint. No, real talk. Well, I have to do that because you talked about family conversation, right?
Exactly.
So within that book, I talk about 5 components, right? The first, you gotta have the generational wealth mindset. You gotta be selfless. It's not about us, right? We have to make sure we're self-aware. We also have to have the adaptability because life is going to life, right? The second thing is, this is very important. Creating your family mission and vision statement and statement of identity. You guys should be having conversations about who you are. If your last name is Smith, we are the Smiths. This is what we value, this is what we believe, and this is what we're gonna do to impact the world. Have you guys had that conversation with your family? If not, you should do that today. The third is always about building and buying assets. The fourth component is creating the proper infrastructure. And the fifth component is the generational wealth hub. Life insurance is not a generational wealth plan. The generational wealth hub is actually creating a system of creating a perpetual generation of assets being passed down, but you can't pass down these assets if you're not going to establish the principles of your family, why we're actually creating these possessions, right? We love possessions, but they possess us sometimes, that's agreed, right? And the purpose. So when you're having these conversations that start with family meetings, me and my family have meetings, I highly recommend having those tough conversations about death, about life insurance, about seeing an attorney, about, okay, who's gonna get the house? Have the conversations, because guess what? If you don't, it's gonna be a tough conversation to have when you're no longer here.
Awesome. So, we're gonna pass this to the audience for our audience questions. I did say this was engaging, right? I did say that, right? So that means you can ask questions, it's okay. Michael, do you have one? Okay. Does anybody have any questions out in the audience? I can't see.
Can you give us the difference between revocable and irrevocable in terms of cost too?
It's a cost squeeze. So it depends. Like, so I want you to look at drafting these documents as, it's not about the documents, because you can go get that on the legal room, right? It's about the outcome.
Right.
And so, how much value would you put on your family and what you have, right? Because you get what you pay for. You can go get a trust online. I had somebody who came to my office, she met somebody on TikTok. Gave her a whole bunch of money and then came to me after that person disappeared. And I gave her my price and she was like, oh, but you gave a person on the internet who wasn't even licensed 10 times what you gave me. Like, what are you, but you know, people get excited and do all. So the price depends. An irrevocable trust is gonna cost way more because you have to, essentially, you can't change the terms once you set it up. The best and worst example I can give y'all is OJ. I do give this example all the time. Linda, who's in the front, who works with me, disagrees with me, but we're gonna give the disclaimer that we know OJ did it. And so, she did it with the son. But before OJ did it, he set up an irrevocable trust, right? He put his money from the NFL when he retired in the trust. Why do you think after the They got a $76 million judgment or whatever it was. You didn't see OJ working. There was no commercial of him running through the airport ever again because he could not make any money because he had a judgment. So then he decided that he was going to write this book, If I Would Have Killed Her. But then he didn't publish it because he would have had to give the proceeds towards the judgment. So they sued and got the rights to the book and published it to pay down the debt. He's been living off of the money that had been put in the trust, that the trustee, a third party, because he can't own any of the stuff, so he gave these assets away, which is probably part of the reason why he went to jail. He thought, he didn't understand. That's my trophy, these are my things that he went to go give back. When you give your assets away to the irrevocable trust, you can't change your mind. You can't say, I want it back, I want to sell it, I want to do something else with it. So that's why it costs, because you stuck with it once you do it. But wealthy people who have assets above the estate tax exemption amount, which is upwards of $16 million. If you have above that, people want to separate their assets from the taxable estate because the federal government will tax you almost 50% when you die. They don't want to pay that. Aretha Franklin, Prince paid his estate paid $120 million in taxes because they didn't plan for it. So that's why they get those trusts. And they're not paying their light bill anyway. Somebody else is managing it, so it's not a big deal for them to have a third party do it. Most of us don't want somebody else managing our assets, even if we write all the terms out. You might change your mind, you might fall out with somebody, something else could happen, you might have more children. So the irrevocable trust is going to cost way more because you stuck with it. It's going to go through, you have to have a third party do all of that. A revocable is going to be much more manageable. It can adapt as life starts life and you can go back and manage it. So it's easier for everyone. So I can't really give you an amount because it depends on the terms you put in there, but trust me, the irrevocable will cost you more and you're not going to be happy.
So the second part of that question is the account that you set up. Like, how much money should you put in that account? Or should, like...
There's no account for it.
I mean, the trust account.
For what? It depends on what you're doing. So most of it, the trust is funded by, if you get real estate, so you purchase a house, you have the security deed, and then you got the warranty deed. The security deed don't stay on there, right? The warranty deed is what you're putting in the revocable trust. You don't have to put a bank account. When they say fund the trust, you don't have to open up an account. The same way on the Secretary of State, there's a business, but there's no business because it's paper. It's a thing that exists. It becomes something that pays taxes and all those things when you pass away. Or if you have an irrevocable trust, you have to establish it then. But you don't have to go set up an account. Because when you set up the account, essentially anytime you get an EIN, it's tied to your social. When you pass away, they can't use your social anymore. The person's going to have to go get an EIN or do something different anyway. So you might make it harder for them because they're going to have to go change and do. So I'm sorry, y'all, we're going to extra law school. I'm sorry. But no, you don't have to get an account. You don't have to set it up. It just depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to put some money in there, the IRS, everybody's still going to treat it the same and they're still going to come get it. So it's not really like, if you run it, you can't run. So people don't need to set up an account for most of those things. But you just ask the lawyer who you talk to if you'd like to talk to me and stuff like that.
Thank you so much. Y'all, thank these awesome panelists for their information. They do have booths outside in the room. Please stop by and see them. Give them a warm round of applause. Come on, Jermaine, let's go.
Take action, take action.
Let's go.
Now, during the day, after I said I would die before I ever punched another clock, I surrounded myself with 5 great men that did electricians, plumbing, plastering, drywalling, and they taught me everything I knew. What's my point? You can only be what you can see. The reason I have been able to go 37 years without punching the clock, and I want you all to remember this, faith would not be faith if you knew what you had coming. I'm gonna say that one more time. Faith would not be faith if you knew what you had coming. Because I've been through hell, I just don't smell like smoke. And I don't let nothing steal my joy. So in my 15 seconds, I want you all to remember this. 95% of people believe in God, but only 5% trust Him. Because when you trust God, you're going to be running on fumes. But you'll never run out of gas. You'll never. Because this is about becoming. But you can only become something when you speak it. Thank you.
Give Lamont a round of applause. Each and every one of us are on a journey. And along that journey, there are going to be a lot of lessons and blessings, and that's what Lamont was able to capture and highlight, his lessons and blessings and experiences along his journey as he continues to become more. Guess what? That's not just Lamont's narrative. That's each and every one of us who showed up today. That's all of our narratives. So let me hear you say, become more. 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 There you go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. As we get ready to transition to our next pathway, pathways to business, I am so excited to introduce our next moderator. As she gets ready, here she comes. I see the queen. Let's get it, let's go. Game changer alert. Our next moderator is Bobby Music, who is an accomplished branding strategist and founder known as the branding lady or queen, which I just tagged her. With more than 2 decades of experience, she has helped entrepreneurs, business owners, and organizations develop powerful brands that increase visibility, credibility, and growth. Her expertise include branding, digital marketing, artificial intelligence, automation, and business implementation, strategies that position businesses for long-term success. She is going to be our moderator for our next segment, so give her a round of applause. And now let's go, let's go.
Hello everybody. How we feeling after we've eaten? We feel a little better now? Yes. Yeah? Okay, good. Well, I'm Bobby Music. I'm doing the Pathways to Business tonight, so we have some wonderful people about to join me on stage. I would like to have them all come up one by one and introduce themselves. Well, I'm going to introduce them. Amir Abraham, where are you at? Hey, Amir is a first-generation American entrepreneur who helps entrepreneurs and consumers access business funding, restore credit, and build generational wealth through financial education and empowerment. Hello, sir. Our next is the lovely lady, Miss Erica Jones. She is a fractional CFO and CEO. She is a certified tax advisor and also quite a queen. Come on up too. Hey, Miss Erica. Next we have Mike Johnson. He is a founder and CEO of Johnson & Associates Strategic Planning and Consulting Firm, where their mission is to educate, empower, and equip entrepreneurs and business leaders to build success and most importantly, sustainable businesses. Hey, Mike. All right, and then last but definitely not least, this is a wonderful queen over here. We have Ms. Cheryl Monroe, who is a founder of CK Management and Consulting Group. She's an award-winning government contracting strategist. She is a retired U.S. Army Chief Warrant Officer and nationally recognized business leader dedicated to helping business, nonprofits, and communities create lasting economic impact. So welcome, you guys. To my panel, and one by one, every entrepreneur in this room started with a version of themselves that couldn't yet carry the vision. Quick answers down the line. What is one thing you had to stop doing or start doing to become the business owner you are today?
It's a beautiful question. First and foremost, I don't know if y'all know, y'all look amazing tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. So the question is, what are we doing, or what do we have to stop doing to become great? And the first thing I'm gonna say is purpose. Raise your hand if you own a business here. Did you know that without a problem, you couldn't provide that solution? So if you don't know the problem that you're solving, how can your business solve that problem? How can you serve your community? How can you pour back into those that poured into you? So if you don't know why you're doing something, I'm gonna be frank, you're wasting time, energy, and one thing I hate wasting is money. Secondly, work ethic. It's one thing to have a purpose, but if you don't have a grind, what's the point? So figure out what it is that motivates you, and I tell people your why stands for what hurts you. What keeps you up at night? What is the reason why you get up every single day to make sure that you solve someone else's problems? So purpose and work ethic.
Thank you. Go ahead, Miss Erica.
I stopped confusing being busy with building a business. See, earlier on, we're taught that the harder we work, that creates success. But everything changed in my business when I started building financial systems.
Oh, okay.
You ready, Mike?
Yeah, sure, keep going, right? But no, one primary thing I had to stop doing was very simple. I had to stop trying to wear all the hats myself. I had to realize that I can't be the CEO, the COO, the CFO, the quality assurance person, the market and media person. I can't go back and check quality of my product. I had to realize that I can't do it all by myself. And so it's the importance of putting systems and processes in place within the business, not just the business, but in your personal life too. You have everything in life is designed around processes and systems. In order to get you, there was a process. You had to bathe, hopefully, right? You had to bathe, get dressed, get in the car, figure out the best way to get here, avoid traffic. That's a process. Everything that we do in life is process driven. And so we have to change our mindset, not to change our mindset on how I operated in life and in business in order to achieve success.
Thanks, Mike. Go ahead, Miss Cheryl.
Yes, so I would echo all three of my panels, but I will also add the imposter syndrome. See, when I made history in the military, it didn't really click into my mind. When I started my business, I had to realize that I did belong in those spaces that I entered. And so once I realized I belonged in that space and I had the institutional knowledge to provide others to become successful, then my business took off as well as my clients. So I would add everything that my panel said and plus imposter syndrome.
Thank you, Cheryl. That is what I'm talking about. First, I'm gonna start with you, Erica. Okay? Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and right now, inflation and rising costs are eating margins alive. Where is the money most often hiding in plain sight inside a business, and how does an owner protect profit when everything costs more?
Most money is hidden in three places: unnecessary subscription, underpriced services, and inefficient processes. Business owners look at revenue. I look at cash flow. You have to know where every dollar is going before it enters a business. And business owners that can survive inflation are the ones that are managing every dollar with purpose.
Thank you very much. But yes, we all needed to hear that. Okay, Mike, AI and automation are the biggest operational shift for small business since the internet. For the owners still doing everything manually, which system should they automate first, and which should they never hand over to a machine?
Ooh, how much time we got?
I know. I'll cut you off when I'm ready.
All right, short answer is simply this. You want to automate the tasks that, one, are plaguing your mind with time. What's prohibiting you from doing the thing in which you love to do? Automate that. So if you're spending more time responding to email, responding to messages, responding to text, find a way to automate that. If you're looking at trying to figure out where your money's going, how much you're spending to acquire a customer, how much it costs per click, shameless plug, I have an app called the Operator's Desk. Listen, it will analyze your P&L statements and tell you exactly what you're spending your money on, how much you're spending, what you need to do to shift that perspective and go from there. And last and certainly not least is this. Because AI is a tool. AI is a resource, not a replacement. And let me say that again. AI is a tool for you and not a replacement. When we look at using automations, we have to figure out one simple thing. Automation makes your life easy, but it's only as good as what type of data you feed it. So you have to ask yourself and reverse engineer it as such. What is the end goal? Start with that in mind. And then engineer it so that the AI product that you're using develops a process. You're going to hear this term a lot in this panel. That AI tool will develop a process that's going to get you to your end goal. Oftentimes we do it in reverse. We just give AI the prompt and say, hey, act or do or be, but it has no knowledge of where you're trying to get to. So when we're talking about AI, you want to automate the processes, but also give it some level of governance and guidance in order to achieve what you want it to achieve.
Yes, yes. Be careful of the data you're feeding your AI. That is absolutely 100% correct. All right, Ms. Cheryl, the government remains the biggest customer on earth, and federal, state, and local dollars are flowing into infrastructure, technology, and services right now. For the business owners in this room, where we are, it's a real opportunity today. What does it take to get that to the table?
Okay, so first, I know I saw a lot of business owners. So right now, how many of you are doing government contracts? OMG. So we definitely have a problem in this room. The government spends $176 billion a year in government contracts. Right now, they give $76 billion to small businesses. Here in Atlanta, they have a small business program here. They have an EBO program where they do still have set-asides for small business enterprise. So if you're not a part of the government sector here, you're missing out on a lot of money. The government buys everything. And when I say everything, they buy everything. If you're a hairstylist, they will pay you to make wigs for veterans that are either cancer patients or have alopecia. But what they term it is cranium prosthetic. So a lot of us might not know as a hairdresser that we can get that contract or become a vendor because it's called cranium prosthetic instead of maybe a wig, something we're used to. Real estate, they have contracts for real estate developers, they have contracts for real estate brokers, real estate owners. They have contracts for everything. So if you're in IT, real estate, janitorial, whatever AI, that's big. They're looking for human resources system. Because I saw no one raise my hand, that is truly a concern for me in this space. We can pool resources together just in this room. I can figure out who can work together. In Atlanta, they have a big infrastructure project going on for the next 7 years. I attend those meetings. I don't do construction, but I like to just know what's going on. They're looking for plumbers, HVAC, electricians. They're looking for lawn care. They're looking for everything, and they're looking for small business owners that look like you and I in these spaces to figure out how can you get those dollars. So you really need to, what I would leave with you is to definitely sign up in the Georgia procurement site tonight and figure out what does that look like for you. Figure out what your services are, your NAT codes. I could talk forever. I love government contract, so I'm gonna get a mic back. But if anybody is interested in getting into the government sector, that is my passion. I did it for the military over 30 years. I worked in the Pentagon. I came out, I wrote contracts for people to bid on. When I sat in industry day, I didn't see a lot of us in there that caused problems for me. So I'm gonna turn it over, but definitely get into that space.
Oh, no.
First thing.
We definitely wanted to hear all of that. I'm pretty sure a lot of us in the room didn't even know that, you know, the wigs, what? Okay, Amir. Lending has tightened and capital is more expensive than it's been in years, yet money is still moving for businesses that are ready. What makes a business fundable in this environment, and what should every owner here do in the next 90 days to become ready for the money they're going to ask for?
Perfect. So we know how many businesses are here tonight, correct? Make some noise if I can give you away 6 figures worth of game. Let's go. 6 figures worth of game. Take out your notes, so let's do it. I got a few seconds. I'm gonna give you 5 things right now how to get access to capital. First thing, have a business. I know that sounds funny, but that's not meaning having an LLC or S Corp. That's actually having a business that's built out. A business phone number, business address, the right Noxus code. I cannot tell you how many businesses that go to the bank looking for funding, but they're registered in the wrong industry. The banks have an appetite, just like how we had an appetite tonight. There are certain things on that menu, i.e. businesses, that they don't want to deal with. So working with Green and Gold, we're going to be able to structure you to where you're not in a high-risk industry. So that's number one, actually having a business. Number two, who has been to the bank in the last 60 days and applied for a line of credit, business credit card, or anything? Last 60 days. Did they ask you what your business credit score was? Or did they ask you what your personal credit score was? Credit is king. In my community, where I come from, I'm a first-generation American. I was told when you get a credit card, spend and pay it back immediately, because that's what we knew. But a 3-digit number can get you access to 6 to 7 figures worth of capital. I'm gonna say that again. A 3-digit number can get you access to 6 to 7 figures worth of capital. Every 700 credit score is not created equal. So if you want funding, how do we start that conversation? A 680. If you don't have a 680 credit score, let's work on that credit. Let's build some trade lines. Let's do what's necessary to get you a 680. 720 opens up the door. We can walk in the bank and pretty much ask for whatever we want. Now, let's get to utilization. Utilization is my favorite thing. 35% is the cap. 35% is the cap. I just had a client get denied last week because one credit card was at 48%. I talked to an underwriter. Any personal credit card over 48% is considered over leveraged when it comes to underwriting. So when it's time to go for funding, we need to have our utilization together. Fourthly, comparable credit. Everybody say comparable credit.
Comparable credit.
Comparable credit is just like dating. The banks want to know, what does your history look like? We always want to know, did you have several divorces? We want to know those things. So when it comes to comparable credit, the banks are going to see, what did Truist give you? What did Wells Fargo give you? On business lending, and it comes to your personal credit profile, if you have over $20,000 worth of access to capital, you can get up to 1.5 to 2 times of that on the business side. So if you have $20,000 available on your personal credit, you can get up to $40,000, no documentation, on the business side. Because personal credit is for what? Trips, traveling, houses, stuff that don't really return on investment. But business capital is for operations, systems, payroll. We want to spend money so we can do what? I love it. And then lastly, I know I got to do it, but lastly, inquiries. I know there's somebody in here like, well, I don't want to run my credit. I don't want any hard hits on my credit profile. I'm going to give you some game. Truist pulls from Equifax. Chase pulls from Experian. American Express pulls from TransUnion. If I take you to Equifax, they pull your credit profile, we get 3 products. That's only 1 inquiry, 3 products. I take you to Chase, we get you 2 0% interest credit cards. That's 5 products, only 2 inquiries. Then we're gonna go to Experian and we're gonna do the exact same thing. So don't come to me saying you don't want to use your credit if we don't know how to use it properly. So I'm gonna educate you and show you exactly how to leverage that 3-digit number so we can get 6 figures worth of capital, hopefully at 0% interest.
Yes, sir. 100%. All right, and I'm gonna leave this to Mike because I feel like once you have all this money, Mike, the leanest companies in history are being built right now. Small teams, fractional talent, and technology doing the heavy lifting. How does an entrepreneur build big capability without big headcount?
Great question. To avoid building headcount, it goes back to the premise of why you started your business, just to make money and solve a problem. So when you're building your business, you have to have a design. We talk about strategy. A lot of times in these conversations, you hear a lot of information and motivation without application. And you wonder why we're in a phase of desperation, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And so we have to drill down to a point where we are building out strategic operating plans for our business. And when you do that, you can then delegate what can be automated, what do I need to do myself, who do I need to hire, as at the very least a VA or some sort of assistant to assist on what you're doing. You can run a 7-8 figure company with 3 to 4 people. If you build the systems and the processes in the right way, you don't need a lot of headcount, you don't need a lot of personnel, you need the right processes and systems in place. So as we're building out these lean companies and we're building out these structures, the question is simply this. We have to ask ourselves, how do we want to build our business? Because success in the business space is psychological, it is theological, and it's sociological, and I'll tell you how. Psychologically, we have to change our mind on how we approach business. We can't really do the same things that we've been seeing online or seeing here and there, but our approach to business has to be done in such a way where our mindset shifts in how we operate. Theologically, it's very simple. The Bible puts it like this in Deuteronomy 28:18. He says, the Lord gives you the ability to get wealth. So that means everything you need to get wealth is already inside of you. You just have to it has to be pulled out, and you have to build the structure and put the structure in place to build whatever thing you're going to build to get and develop that wealth. And socializing is very simple. Once you build the structure, you have to tap into the community. Tap into these spaces and build, and when you build it in such a way that you're impacting people beyond yourself in a lean way.
Yes, absolutely. You guys hear this? This is like a roadmap. I want to ask a question to Ms. Cheryl, and I want to ask a very important question to Ms. Erica. First, I'm going to start with Erica, okay? Because we're literally setting up a map for you, and then we're going to have to finish, but they're going to be here all night, okay? All right, here we go. For Erica, many owners are afraid to raise prices even as their costs climb. Talk about pricing power. How does a business charge what it's worth without losing the customers it loves?
Stop chasing prices and start chasing value. Half the time, the client isn't looking for the cheapest option. They're looking for the best value. If your prices are increasing, your results should improve as well, and your prices should result in that. I'd rather service fewer clients exceptionally than to service everybody at a discount. Half the time, the client that's costing you, the customer that left because of the prices is the same one that's costing you the most money.
Thank you, absolutely. And Ms. Cheryl, let's start them off with the government contracting, okay? Most people think you win a huge contract on day one. Talk about teaming, subcontracting, and starting smaller. What does a realistic first contract path look like for someone starting tonight?
So, subcontracting definitely would be something that everyone could start tonight. You could attend pre-bidder conferences and sign in, and you will see the prime. And then the prime is always looking for a subcontractor to come in. Because a lot of you are not in the government space, that will be the easiest way for you to get in this space. And being a subcontractor, you still can make $1 million or more as a subcontractor. So don't think coming in as a subcontractor, you can't make any money. Teaming agreement, I would say, would be your second. If you can partner with somebody that has past performance, let's say in the civilian sector, and then we could just look at how can we term that, phrase that to meet the requirements of the government, then we could use that past performance, but then we still need to make sure you have everything else required to be in the government space. You need to have E-Verify, you need to have insurance, you need to have workers' comp, you need to have bonds, and there's other things that are required before you even get into the government space. But don't let that scare you away. Please get into this space. There's not a lot of us in this space. They're looking for us to be in this space. I know there's a lot of changes with the certifications, but trust me, they are still utilized today. I am a DBE, a SBE, a MBE, a AABE, a FBE, a SDVOB. So I have all of them. I have a commercial cleaning company as well. All we do is government contracts. I was able to change the trajectory of my family's life. I hired my family to work that company. We have our own 401k with a 3% match. We have our own insurance. We have our own dental. We have our own health care. We have our own short-term disability. We have our own cancer policies. We have our own everything. So now that I can rest easy knowing that my family is taken care of, getting into this space can definitely change the trajectory and become a subcontractor.
Thank you. Okay, and we are about finished, but I'm going to start with you, Amir, and we're going to do just a rapid fire to close. So just quick thoughts. The entrepreneur who wants to become more must.
Delegate.
Like that one. Go ahead, Erica. She said yes. I agree.
Become your own CFO, not just CEO.
Okay.
Because revenue gets attention, but profit creates legacy, options, and freedom. Most businesses think that they're measured by how much revenue they generate, but you're actually measured by how much profit that you keep.
Quick and simple, build the right systems. Your systems will determine your success.
I would say have the right team. Have people you can trust on your team to ensure when you are not around, the job is still getting done.
That's wonderful. I want you guys to look at this panel, remember these faces, and take a moment tonight to make sure to meet them. Get some very important information from them so you can make a lot more money and build just a much more successful business. I appreciate you guys very much. I know that we all do. Thank you guys.
Let's go, let's go. Give our moderator a round of applause, our panel and speakers a round of applause. Great job, Bobby and speakers. Phenomenal job. Small thinking, small results. Big thinking, big results. Let's go, let's go. We are getting ready to transition to our next panel. Game changer alert, game changer alert. We have, aha, but there's more. Aha, rescue. All right, before we get ready to transition to our next panel, let's give a couple of shout outs to our sponsors. I cannot and will not forget our sponsors. Hakeem said, make sure you do not forget to shout out the sponsors. So let's do it then. Shout out and recognize, and we'd like to recognize Kim Kidd of Fillmore Contracts, Kim Hughes of KG Hughes and Associates, Carmelita Collier of She Builds Society for investing in entrepreneurs, businesses in stronger communities. Thank you for helping create pathways to success. Aha, but there's more. Game changer alert, game changer alert. We have Mrs. Cheryl Marie as she gets ready to come up here. Cheryl is the founder and CEO of Top Notch Academy of Real Estate, one of the region's leading real estate education institutions. As an accomplished broker, educator, and mentor, she has helped thousands of aspiring real estate professionals launch successful careers while emphasizing ownership, investing, in entrepreneurship. Her passion is helping people turn education into opportunity and opportunity into wealth. Help me welcome Miss Cheryl Marie as our moderator. Let's go, let's go. I pronounced it right this time, didn't I? I did. I was scared. I was telling my friends, Miss Cheryl gonna be there. I better say her name right. So give Miss Cheryl a round of applause and have a phenomenal panel. Let's go, let's go.
Let's do this. How are you guys feeling right now? Are you feeling great for real? I need you to stand up for just a minute. Just stand up. If you're able to be on both of your feet, get on up and do that.
Get on up. Let's go, let's go.
Stand up. Let that blood flow through there, right? Because you guys have been eating, right? Okay? But we have some things coming up right now that I know is going to cause you to leave here better than you came, right? And the whole night has been that way. It's been beautiful, but we're going to keep this party going. But I needed you to stand up and let that blood flow for just a minute. And I would have you to do the hokey pokey, but some of y'all probably go, you put your left foot in, you take your left foot out. Anybody ever heard that?
Do the hokey pokey, turn yourself about.
And that's what it's all about, hokey pokey. So some of y'all need to get to a place in your lives where as long as you've been on the earth has nothing to do with who you are. Some people get caught up in what their age is. So when somebody asks me what my age is, I'm asking, are you with Social Security? Are you with the IRS? I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this. Because that number means nothing when you have a higher power in your life. He cares nothing about how long you've been on this earth. It's about what is it that you're doing. There's a sunrise and there's a sunset. God cares about that dash in the middle. It has nothing to do with how long you've been on the planet. But I'm a different kind of woman. I shout how long I've been on this planet from the rooftop.
They say don't ask a woman thing, but something tells me something in my spirit right now. There's somebody in here, and I don't care if it's just one of you, need to know how long I've been on this planet thus far. Because I got about 45 more years to go. But it's counting January 21st of this year, God blessed me with 65 years.
Let's go, let's go.
I wish you would call yourself old again. 65 and counting. Glory to God in the highest. With that being said, we're getting ready to show y'all some things. Have a seat.
Have a seat now. Michelle, we warmed up now. Let's go, let's go.
Glory.
I'm staying live the rest of the show.
I want you to turn your microphone off right now.
Turn it off too.
I love you. Turn that microphone off, girl. Mr. Sharif James, come on up, sir. Mr. Sharif James is a land development real estate person. And he's getting ready to come up here in just a few minutes. For the sake of time, I'm bringing everyone up and then they will introduce themselves. Is that all right? Yes. Have a seat. Yes, sir. It's already getting beautiful. Miss Vanessa Kelly, come on up. Real estate advisor and nonprofit executive officer. Mr. Joe Castaneda, come on up. Joe Castaneda is a private mortgage lender and real estate developer. And last but not least, Mr. Michael Oden, come on up. Real estate broker and developer here in Metro Atlanta and throughout the state of Georgia. Oh, we got a powerhouse going on up in here right now. Does everybody have a microphone? No. Pass that mic right there, please, Michael, down to Mr. Sharif. And if you will introduce yourself briefly.
Good evening, God is good. And then we're gonna get right to it, we short on time. Thank you, Hakeem and his staff, for just bringing a powerhouse of wisdom, information. Y'all just give it a phone real quick. One more time, man. We appreciate you. My name is Sharif James. I represent Mission New Value Group. I am the co-founder, my partner Gary in here. We are real estate land developers that pretty much help owners, developers, as well as ourselves, identify land, unlock the value, and figure out how we can make money and create legacy as land is an asset. Also the founder of Mission Galacon, which is a real estate conference platform and a black tie gala that we do in October every year. I'd like to pass it to... Yeah, so okay, here we go.
Ms. Vanessa
Yes,
Kelly.
thank you.
Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Vanessa Kelly. I am your partner in possibilities in property.
All right, Miss Vanessa Kelly, give it up for her. Mr. Joe Castaneda.
Familia, what's up? How's everybody doing? All right, my name is Joe Castaneda. I'm the managing partner of Duke Allen & Company. We're a private money lender based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We have many offices throughout the U.S. and we're also real estate developers. Hakeem, you are the man, dude. This is amazing, man. Love it.
And Mr. Michael Oden.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Oden. Most people call me Mo, which is simply my initials. Real estate broker and developer here in Metro Atlanta. My team and I at Dream Home today focus on helping prospective home buyers achieve the dream of home ownership by using every dollar of available down payment assistance. And we also are real estate broker developers as well. We work with organizations such as Habitat for Humanity and COM, Atlanta Land Trust, Atlanta Police Foundation, as well as ANDP, or Atlanta Neighborhood Development Partnership, to build affordable homes across Metro Atlanta.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited already.
Let's go.
So I'm going to put this question to all of you, and whoever wants to answer, I'll get about two of you to answer this question, please. We've talked a lot about becoming more as individuals and as families. What does it mean for a community to become more? And what does that look like on a real block, in a real neighborhood in Atlanta? What does it mean for a community to become more? Who wants to help us with that one?
All right, so it starts with us, leaders, right? Because many are gatekeepers. Understand that? And people are like, oh, it's mine. I want to do it myself. And we can't do that, guys. We need to build, like, I'm Hispanic, And that's tough. It's not easy, right? When we came from Colombia, it was 7 of us in the basement in Queens, right? So we weren't taught, we weren't born in riches. My mom's like, Mijo, I wish I could have taught you better. I go, no, Ma, you did what you had to do. You got me to where I needed to be to keep going, right? And so I understood that from my parents. It's like, hey, work together. It's not about me, it's about us. And working as a community, meaning you have a value add, you have a value, so do you. If we all bring it together, we build blocks, build buildings, right? That's my tip.
Yeah, I like to take a stab at that. Just to piggyback, I think it's important that we understand the power of our mindset in really killing the idea of the scarcity mindset. And understand that there's a principle that in order for us to go to the next level, to achieve greatness, to interrupt the norm, we have to work in collective. I have to recognize its value. I have to recognize my value. I also have to recognize my deficiencies. And knowing that I'm gonna come up short, I gotta know that I can't do everything, and that's okay. And it's all right to work with my sister. It's all right to work with my brother. It's all right to work with this gentleman. It's all right to work and continue to come to events like this. So we can be reminded that it's not just about what we want for ourselves. But at the end of the day, to your point earlier, we in a dash. And the $1 million question is, oh, what is the contribution while you're here? So what that leads to is what's your purpose? When you in purpose, you automatically rid of the scarcity mindset because you start thinking in a way of abundance. And I think lifting your consciousness to abundance allow us to have the tough conversations and saying, what are the real problems we're having? How can I utilize you, you utilize me? How can we collectively create a structure, a system, an opportunity, rules, and bring capital together to disrupt and build? And it starts with us having the tough conversations.
And what you said there is that it's a tough conversation.
It's a tough conversation.
It's a tough conversation, and a lot of times we will avoid that which is not easy. There's one thing for easy, another thing to be simple. And you can make it simple, which is the opposite of complicated, but it will still be tough. So let's do this, and that's why they're here with us on the stage. Mr. Odin?
Yeah, I wanted to just add to that, and it kind of piggybacks on the conversation that you and I had a few moments ago. The way that you build community and to really grow is in partnerships. Ms. Cheryl and I were talking a few moments ago about how Jesus, the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings, even he went out and got 12 others to come along in the journey. He didn't need them, but it was a part of his plan. So I would just encourage you, as you're thinking about growing your business, etc., to always be thinking about ways that you can partner with others, because you will ultimately end up building more.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Let's talk to Ms. Kelly for just a second. Ms. Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a real shift. That's a shift. There's a shift happening from competition to collaboration among our professionals and organizations. What turns a room full of talented people, such as what we have before us, what turns this room into an actual coalition? We are moving from doing it on our own to actually coming together. What turns a room full of talented people into an actual coalition?
Action.
Wow.
Action. We're here, we're getting the information, you're taking your notes, but what are you gonna do tomorrow? The previous panels, everybody gave amazing, do this today, do this tomorrow, bullet points. I wrote mine down, I've got my action items. If you don't take action, all of this is for naught. All of this is just spending some time hanging out, kicking it on a Saturday. If the coalition comes when we take all of this that we have learned, we follow up with all of the voices that we've heard, all of the relationships that all of the connections that we've made, and turn them into relationships. They're not default relationships because you met. Turning them into relationships requires that action, that nurturing, and that's how you build a coalition.
Absolutely, thank you for that. Let's talk to Mr. Castaneda for just a second. Mr. Castaneda, Joe, high interest rates have made development harder to finance. Yet projects are still getting done by creative capital that is. What does a smart capital stack look like right now?
That's a great question. It starts off with your due diligence, right? You make your money where? On the buy or on the sell? On your purchase, right? So do your due diligence up front, because you don't have control of the future. You have control like now, right? So what happens is strategies, right? Where's my man with that does the business credit? You have 0% financing, right? You have OPM. What's OPM, guys? That's everywhere. Everywhere is OPM, right? And then of course you got hard money loans, private money loans, whatever it is, guys, utilize that. The biggest misconception is, oh, interest rate is so high, interest rate is, guys, don't step over dollars to pick up pennies. If you're gonna be making 6 figures on a project, oh man, charge me what it is. Because I know my bottom line, I'm gonna be hitting those 6 figures in 9 or 12 or 18 months, right? And so what happens is, people get analysis paralysis. They're like, oh, well, they're charging me this, and then that deal's gone. Guys, that deal is gone. So doing your due diligence up front, having a system, Mike said it. I'm Hispanic. I want to do everything. CEO, CFO, taxes, demo specialist, paint, have those systems in place. That way, once you look at a project or an opportunity, and you might be hit with a 12% interest rate, which is 1% a month, or 18% annually, which is 1.5 a month, but if you're making 6 figures, it's okay. Because you need to start somewhere. You're not going to just jump in and say, oh yeah, I want everything. You have no experience on paper, then nobody's going to give you nothing. But if the first opportunity comes and somebody's giving you that yes, yo, hit it out of the park.
Absolutely. If you'll pass that mic to Mr. Michael Oden, please. And thank you so much for that. So you're talking, if you just look at your life like a bicycle, like you're riding a bicycle, and in order for that bicycle to keep moving, in order for your life to keep going, you have to be pedaling. Otherwise, it's going to stop, and you're going to fall off. So if you start something, find out how to keep going with it. Talk with others, collaborate, as we're talking about. And with that being said, Michael, corporate investors are buying up single-family homes across Metro Atlanta at a pace we've never seen before. Turning would-be owners into permanent renters because they would be owners and now they're renting. What does that mean for our community's wealth? And how do we keep ownership local?
Man, that's a great question. Buy now.
Buy now.
Period. If you don't own and you're paying rent, guess what? You're paying somebody else's mortgage. So buy now, because the opportunities are dwindling. Cost of housing is rapidly increasing. Interest rates have been elevated over the past couple of years, but historically, they are still relatively on the lower side when you look at it historically. So buy now so that you can have the opportunity to invest that equity over the course of time for you and your family, versus allowing these corporations to have control over these assets and prevent you from being able to do so. So that would be my recommendation, is to buy now. And to add to that, there are a tremendous amount of down payment assistance programs that are available, and you just need to find out the individuals who can help you identify them to enable you to be able to achieve the dream of homeownership if you haven't been able to do so. So please, 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 buy now.
Buy now, he said. Now, and that's how you define now. I always say that someday and one day are not on the calendar. We like to say we're going to do this and that someday or one day. Neither are on the calendar. Put something on the calendar and do it now, right now. I'm a TNT girl, and I'm not talking about dynamite. Today, not tomorrow. Let's talk a little bit with Mr. Sharif. Mr. Sharif.
Yes.
When you first look at a piece of land, what are the first 3 things you evaluate before deciding whether it's worth pursuing?
I look at the market first.
He looks at the market first.
Yeah, I look at the market.
Elaborate, please.
I'd rather have a very strong market and an okay piece of land, because if I got a strong market, that market will pull the value from that project. And what we've learned is when, in land development, anybody here own land, pursue land, bought land before, raise your hand. On my land, okay. Anybody interested in buying land? Okay, listen up very carefully. number one is your market. And what I mean by market, the bottom line is you wouldn't go out fishing not knowing if there was fish in the water. You'd be out there early morning, boat, food, everything. You're just sitting out there all day with your fish mat, and you won't get financed. The reason why market is so important, because when you do go for capital, guys like him are going to look at the market. You're never going to be able to raise money from the guys that will write the check if they cannot validate, number one, the product that you're proposing or rehabbing actually has a demand for it. And to your point earlier, you don't know the future, but you want to do your due diligence, and you want it. And I lean on market, as me and Gary, we always get land to a cent all day. The first thing we want to look is population growth. Are people migrating to this area? What is the school systems, number 2 or 3? We want to know what amenities are in that community. Why do people want to live here? Are the trends going up or down? We want to get a good idea of which way trends are going. So this way we know, watch this, from a planning standpoint, when we invest our time and our energy, we have a good idea how long we might sit on this property based on market demand. The second thing we look at is if it's a buildable piece of lot through a series of a couple of feasibility studies that we do. Does the soil perk? Do we have utilities or no? What's the current zoning? What does that zoning mean? Here's a word that I want you to challenge all your professionals, even if you don't know, it's called a zoning analysis. Sounds simple, but it's important. And what that does is it do a deep dive in the zoning. Sometimes there could be 5 different zoning codes that can work against you or for you. And the money is in the zoning. So when you understand zoning, you know how to back into that zoning with a product what we call as of right. So if that zoning gives you as of right, then you know right there that they can't oppose you, they can't stop you. It's a matter of you understanding what the process is to present a plan that will actually get approved. And the other thing that we look at, number 3, and this became very important, we look at the seller, the owners. How motivated are they? Sometimes they could be the biggest risk in pursuing a piece of land. If you're not reasonable, you don't have patience, and you're not on what we call team reality, we don't care how good the deal is, we never get to the closing table. And why is that? Because the seller himself is in the way of the deal. So we do seller assessment before we get too deep dive in any, especially in our game. Land game is the long game. So you can't afford to be tied up on dirt with a seller that does not respond back to you, with a seller that actually does not cooperate, or a seller that's not willing to give a price based on the value of the land. He thinks because Starbucks is went around the corner and so they land for $2 million, he can get $2 million and maybe 75% of his land is not buildable. Never put a survey on it, never ran a soil test, never made an investment. They're looking for what they call dumb money. And if you do not know better, you'll write a check. There's a lot of people got a lot of pain right now because they bought land and didn't do their due diligence. Market, seller, and understand if that land is buildable. If you do not know, it's a lot of stuff you get on chat, get your good engineer, get your good surveyor, they'll be the money worth it. It's called sunken costs. It's better to risk $1,000 to $5,000 than have $300 to $1 million or $3 million stuck into a project you cannot get your money out of.
Now, there's a lot of passion going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you're feeling it, but this man has zeal for what it is he's talking about. And when he's talking about zoning and things of this nature, if you don't know, this is public information. Public information. Go get it. Remember at the very beginning, for those of you who have been here since the beginning, we talked about educating yourselves. Getting the education. Now, I'm getting ready to bring something up right now. I want Miss Kelly to have the mic right here. Because I'm just going from what I'm feeling right now, Miss Vanessa Kelly.
Oh boy.
And you know, because people just get all wrapped up in these phones that some people actually take the phone to bed with them.
How is this going? I'm scared now.
Oh no, you know I operate in the spirit.
I guess you do.
Okay, so people take these phones to bed with them. They drive the car on the phone. They're pushing the buggy in the grocery store on the phone. They walk to the car in the parking lot hoping somebody don't run over, but they don't care because they're on TikTok. Okay. Just gathering information. But are you gathering education? This information. We have more connections than ever before. Followers, and some people really validate themselves by how many followers they have. Help us, Father.
followers, groups, networks, and yet communities still feel disconnected. How do we convert digital social capital into real infrastructure for our community?
I love it. So it really comes down to, and I mean, it's kind of tied into my last answer, action, but it's taking it from digital to analog, right? You've got to get offline, you've got to create resources, you've got to connect beyond the follow. If you've got followers, if the people are leaving comments, you need to be turning those into conversations. You need to be turning those into, let's get to, one-on-one, in person. We've got to get offline. I mean, even if it's a Zoom, it has to be more, right? We're literally here talking about becoming more. It cannot just be followers, likes, views. That's not going to move the needle. They're not even, the socials aren't even paying you like they used to for the likes, views, and whatever. So it's literally just it's fluff. You need to get to the meat of it. You have to take it beyond. You need to be, creating resources. So, hey, you followed me. Let me send you a resource that's going to actually help you. Let's schedule a conversation to talk about it after you've read. Like, this is how you take the fluff and you make it real. You build that infrastructure beyond just the surface.
Absolutely. I knew you were going to come through. I knew you were going to come through. Everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Let's go over to Mr. Michael Oden right here. Atlanta is growing fast, right? Yes. Inside the 285, outside the 285, because we're getting saturated. I love working with developers that'll leave Atlanta. Yeah. I love working with developers that'll come outside of Atlanta. I said, I love to work with developers that don't feel like, because God is not creating any more land. He is not creating any more land, but there's land to be gotten. It's just not inside the 285. Atlanta is growing fast, Mr. Oden, and growth has a habit of pricing out the very people who built these neighborhoods. What does development without displacement actually require? What does development without displacement actually require? And who has to demand it?
It's a great question. Development without displacement requires intentionality. And I would say honestly, from those who are actually doing the development itself, as well as those who are in the community and desiring and want to have an input in terms of what is coming to their community. So those who are in the community need to have a voice, as well as those developers need to be intentional about what it is that they are doing. Just like anything in life, they're good and bad. There are good developers and there are bad developers. There are developers out there who focus on creating value for the public at large, and there are those who create value for their pockets themselves. So it really comes down to the intentionality of the developer as well as the community itself and their involvement in the development process. Unfortunately, I've been a part of a lot of rezoning meetings, etc., and the community is just good intentions, but uneducated on what the true process is and what it is that they can demand and or have an input on. And it becomes more of a, I would say, a petty contest fest versus logical involvement and engagement in the process. So that would be my response to that.
Your response is phenomenal. Are you guys on board with this? We have to be involved intentionally and with purpose in our communities, instead of sitting back. I always say, use the right pronouns. A lot of us like to say, what are they doing? And wonder what they do now. They. Instead of going to the meetings that are open to us all and saying, this is what we're doing. We're doing this. Not I wonder what's going on. What are they doing? No, let's change it to what are we doing? Because we are now involved. I'm going to come with one closing question, and I'm going to go right now to Joe, please, if you will, and then over to Mr. Sharif. And this closing question. This is the last question. If this room of leaders, how many leaders do we have in the room? Raise your hands high. Oh, that's everybody. Hallelujah. Because if you're not leading anything else, you need to be leading that person in the mirror. Last question. If this room of leaders left tonight and act together on one accord and on one thing for this city, what should it be, Joe?
For sure, we need to extend this evening. Where are we going? Station 11, guys. No, guys, take this serious. You guys are in business, right? You're here to grow, right? And we get it. Yes, we all want to make money. We get it, but it's bigger. It's bigger than us, right? So you have to, just like how you do your due diligence on projects or opportunities, we network to do our due diligence to see who we're going to partner up with. We all don't get along with everybody. Everybody's got different, like, how do you say it, characteristics, egos, whatever you want to call it. Guys, leave that at the entrance. Like, this is not an ego thing. This is more like, hey, what can I do to help elevate your business? And what can you do to help elevate mine, right? So, guys, really appreciate Hakeem for doing this because, man, I've met a couple of people already that I'm like, man, we already got appointments this upcoming week because that person has a certain value add that I see the potential that I could do and bring to my family, and vice versa, right? And so take the chance, network, and you never know who you're gonna have literally a life partner in business with.
Absolutely. Mr. James?
I echo it, brother. I want to just take it a step further. The fortune is in the follow-up. I'm going to say it again, the fortune is in the follow-up. Execution beats any plan, any idea, any feeling, any thought, any day long, because execution allows you to learn what you need to learn and know what you need to know, which breeds your confidence, which breeds more execution. So I think the best thing we can do as a collective is truly find out, as not what your title, what is it that you love to do, what is it that you do very, very well, that I need and what I'm doing. And what I believe in, a lot of times we mention community, community, community. We just needed to start in our homes. And if we start in our homes, and we start implementing with our families, our kids, our daughters, our wives, repair those relationships, we automatically build our community. A lot of times we go out, and then instead of coming in, we need to go in and coming out. And the last point to that, the same thing for all the leaders in here. We gotta go in, then go out. The problem's not in outside of our businesses. It's in our inside, our own thoughts, our own traumas that we have not dealt with, our own fears, our own insecurities. It's very, very important that we dissolve, dismiss, or even kill the old version of us. So whatever God has got, He can unlock it. He can assign it. He can give you that so you can live, and then by default, you grab your community because you lead from purpose. And you become, watch this, attractive.
Let's go.
Is anybody going to take action tonight? Not just meeting somebody, but totally connecting. And not just connecting, but following up and following through. When will you follow through, though? Immediately. Right now. Tonight. Right? Because if you put it to the side for someday, what do we say someday is? Not on the calendar. Is one day on the calendar? And more than likely it's not going to happen. And then when you see that person again, I'm guilty of it. And then when you see that person again a year later, you say, oh, you say the same thing again. We got to get together. What's your phone number? You already got my phone number. It's in your contacts. We're friends on all of the social media networks, and you still have not called me to put it on the calendar. I love you guys, and we thank you so much for your time and attention. We hope that you leave here better than you came. God bless.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go. DJ, turn me up. Pathways to community. Let's go, let's go. Give our moderator a round of applause. Let's come back for the picture. Give our moderator a round of applause and give our guest a round of applause. Let's go, let's go. DJ, get ready to turn us up. Turn me up.
A milli. Own your block, build your city. Let's get it, let's go. Pathways to community, own your block, build your city. Pathways to wealth, wealth partners. Part 2, let's go. Give our moderator and panel and speakers a round of applause.
And there, other Nigerian haircut. Your career isn't there. Use the back of minstrel.
Let's go.
On the sheet of the tablet in my mind.
If you came today to become more, I need you to stand up. Stand up, let's go. If you came to become more, I need you to stand up. A milli. Young money, old money, new money, just get you some money. A milli. Station 11 tonight after party. Rooftop calls, networking, sponsors, vendors, game changers. It's all happening tonight. Let's go. Pathways, our last pathway of the night. We getting ready for it. Young money, the next generation is already building. Shout out to our sponsors. Dante Oyster, Caitlin Freeman, representing Epic Mortgage, Gino Oki of Covenant's Lending, Gino Oki. All right, everybody sit back down. But it ain't over. After party tonight, Station 11.
Don't nobody leave, it's not over. We got another panel.
Let's get ready for our last panel.
Don't nobody leave.
Pathways to young money, the next generation. If you came today to become more, let me hear you say more. If you came today to become more, let me hear you say more. The final panel, let's finish strong. Let's run through the finish line. And without further ado,
we need y'all to come back inside.
Let's go. Don't get me in trouble. Everybody back in for the last panel. I need my final moderator for the evening to get ready to knock it out the park again. She was the moderator for our first panel, Empowering You. And now she's going to get ready to highlight some of our special guests as they discuss young money. The next generation is already building. Everybody make your way back in. Please have a seat at your table. I need the guests to get ready. I need the moderator to get ready. I need the cameraman, the videographers, the photographers, everybody to get ready so we can finish strong. If you can hear my voice, let me hear you say more. If you can hear my voice, let me hear you say more. More discipline, more action, more intentionality, more collaborations, more action, more execution, more completion, more progress, more development, more significance. There's more to your life. There's more to your legacy. So let me hear you say more. If you believe that becoming more is possible, let me hear you say more. If you know that more is possible, let me hear you say more. Miss LaToya Strong, I need you to come up here and I need you to ask the best questions and have the dopest flow, and I need you to get us to a finish line when it comes to being a moderator. Can you do that?
Done.
Will you do that?
We ending strong. You
so let's do it. Let me hear you say more.
More.
Let me hear you say more.
More.
Let me hear you say more.
Y'all walk? Come on now.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go. I am back to end it strong. As our MC just told you, we started today's festivities with empowerment, mindset. And to wrap us up today, this last panel, it's about acceleration. It's about what are you going to do with what you've heard from all of these amazing panels. This last panel, Young Money, represents entrepreneurs under the age of 30. These young entrepreneurs, keep it up. This one is really near and dear to my heart. And so these entrepreneurs have proven they don't wait. Well, becoming more does not wait for an age. It doesn't wait for perfect timing. They are reflecting and living in the flesh, and I can't wait to introduce all of them. I'm gonna get started with Miss Hannah Marie Miller. If you wanna come on up. Hannah is a full-time stock trader and mentor. Make money from the market on a daily basis. She is utilizing proper strategies, systems, and discipline. Next up, we have Nathan Samuel. Nathan is co-founder of the tech platform called One House. For digital education, he's also a fashion designer, as you can see, representing. And last but certainly not least, Colin Thomas. Colin is an entrepreneur, owner and founder of EV Print, but not just a print company. Colin is truly demonstrating helping other brands bring their brand to life. He thrives on that and he's paying it forward. He's also a graduate of Georgia State, class of 2021. And if you know anything about this age group, you gotta capture it real quick. And so the fact that they are even here this late in the day, I just wanna give it up for them one more time. Everybody here to represent for this 30 and under panel, please stand if you are here to represent. They could be doing anything else right now, but they have really wrote it out. And like I said, this age group, you gotta get it, you gotta capture in about 6 seconds. So I am honored to lead this panel as well. Let's start honest. And I will allow you to answer however you see fit. What is the biggest lie young people are told about money? And then what's the truth?
My answer would be that there's a get rich quick. I know for me with stock options trading, that was the appealing part for me. Like I saw like the screenshots on Instagram and I saw like how much you could be up so fast and it was advertised to me like you can make $1 million next week. That you can, but the risk involved is a process to get there. It takes time, energy, effort, actually putting the work in, learning what you're actually investing in if you're going to go into the avenue. I know especially with dealing with stock options, live call outs, people get on them like without knowing anything. I'm guilty. And they get smacked. It's a process. So learning it and then going for the education first.
Well said. Learning it, education, never stop educating. Nathan?
This might be controversial, but money doesn't buy happiness. And I can get into that. I feel like sometimes people equate, when you hear that, you think like, how can I say this? Like, oh, people use money to make them happy, but I truly do believe in today's time as a young person, money is a resource that really is a tool to help you elevate yourself and your family. And it can create experiences that will make you happy. So I don't believe any young person should have to get comfortable thinking that poverty is the choice or something that is a normal state of being. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Well said. Colin, to close out that question, and I can repeat if needed. Not so quick. What is the biggest lie young people are told about money? And in your experience, what did you find to be true?
I would say the biggest lie that we are told about money probably is that it's the root to all evil. I think the truth on that is the lack of money is the root to a lot of evil. A lot of us are doing things because of like a lack of resource, and that leads to people doing things, you know, based off of need. But I think money does, it can help, you know, us. I'm not gonna say it can buy happiness, but it can help, you know, us change lives, bring family closer, and make money with family. So that's what I'd say.
Make money with family. Well said. We're gonna move on to a series of questions. I'm gonna turn it back over to the beautiful Ms. Hannah. Zero commission apps have put the stock market in every young person's pocket. The door is open like never before. Before they risk their first dollar, what is the very first thing a new investor must learn?
You have to understand that as in trading, as in everything in life, there's gonna be a winner, there's gonna be a loser. So yes, you can make a lot of money really quickly, but understand what you're getting into. The education is going to be key. And then on top of the education, when it comes to trading, risk management. Because now, more recently, like within the past month, I've been seeing new traders in the market get torn alive just because there was a new standard that was just released as far as that pattern day trading rules. Before, you had to have a capital minimum of $25,000 in order to continuously trade with profits and everything else. Now that's drastically minimized to only 2. So then people are trying to, or new traders, regardless of market conditions, probability, they come in and they want to put their whole entire account size one after another after another. And yes, you can get some really quick flips with that, but reality is when you do that, it only takes one loss to wipe everything down and go back to 0. So understand that there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser, understand what you're investing in, understand the probability, market conditions. It's not always just going to be super clean setup. Sometimes you're like this past week with what's called OPEX. It was extremely choppy. We sized down drastically in order to protect our previous profits in the weeks prior. So understand market conditions, understand probability, and then education, mentorship. Whether it's me or another person, find a mentor, because that's a cheat code in and of itself.
So don't be too greedy. Have a trusted advisor.
Long story short.
Hannah said don't be too greedy.
I'm guilty, speaking from experience.
Colin, I'm gonna move over to you. The creator economy and a smartphone have made it possible to launch a business from a bedroom. You did start young. You're still real young. What did starting now actually cost you, and what did it give you that waiting never could?
I would say starting now has cost me a lot of time, a lot of like long nights and things like that, trying to get the job done. I'd say some money, a lot of mistakes, but I would say what it's given me starting early, a lot of lessons from those losses. And a lot of those lessons, it's kind of like a head start, or like simulation. Like it's getting me closer to building the life that I feel that I want to live, and building a life that's like worth living to me, you know, making the most out of what or making the most of what I can, you know, just doing that. That's what I'd say.
Absolutely. Colin said he didn't lose, he learned. Nathan, this generation gets its money advice from influencers. Some brilliant, some dangerous. How does a young person build a real wealth mindset in the middle of that noise? And how do they know who to trust?
It's a great question. So I feel like for young people in general, Definitely because of social media, we live in a world where information is a lot more accessible, whether it be good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. And I think the most important thing, I think you had mentioned it, Hannah, is really like mentorship. And I would also take it a step further, like proximity.
Yes.
So like rooms like this, and I wouldn't say this is for young people, but for just people in general, like that proximity, that access to information, it can literally change anything. Because one thing that I do appreciate with the social media not influence culture, but social media, the concept of it in its entirety is that you can literally change your life from this information. Like there is a lot of, people say this, people say that, whatever the case is, but also there is a lot of valuable stuff. Like I've built a business online and I've helped change a lot of people's life through online sort of influence culture. So I do believe getting access to the right mentorship, but take it a step further than just going and young people just going online, like go online, join a community, but then show up to their event. Show up to the places where people are in the room, because once you're in the room, like you get to network, you get to get that in-person experience that I feel like you learn the intangibles, and you also can be able to pick up on key things that you might not necessarily get just leveraging through the tech.
I love it. Proximity is what Nathan said. And so conversations in person are still needed.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Hannah. You're an educator first. What does a real learning path into the markets look like? Paper trading, small positions, real study, for someone who wants to trade skills instead of luck?
For me, I'll speak on the route that I take with my mentees. We always start with the education. We start with our training classes where we're actually going really in depth and breaking down the whys behind things. And then from there, I would say daily live call outs. So with me, I do daily live call outs Monday through Friday, to where it's really in depth. I'm not just saying I'm in, I'm out. I'm explaining the reasons as to why I'm putting my money into the market. That risk management piece that we just spoke on, whether I'm going baby position size, meaning like just a little bit of lunch money. The setup is there, but it's not all the way to the T for highest probability. So baby position size, light, regular, heavy, wide, and then from there I'm walking through and implementing in real time the same information that we speak on in our training classes while the market is forming. And I've seen that that's been able to drastically increase and like speed up that aha moment to where there's actually understanding as far as market. There's that. And then I would say, I know paper trading is a big thing. But one thing in trading that people don't normally expect is gonna be the back-end emotions that you're gonna face when your hard-earned capital is being put in the market, because not every single position is just gonna go right into profit. There's going to be some drawdown, there's going to be a fluctuation, no matter, like for me, I'm a scalper. Even though I'm in and out of positions fairly quickly, it's still going to fluctuate. So I always say for my mentees, when they're starting out accounts, I say 500 to 2,500. No matter of what their bank account looks like, learn on a smaller account, and then from there we focus on compounding correctly. But ultimately, you can't get into the game without putting a toe out. You got to experience it, and paper trading will only take you so far. So that's the way that I go.
So as she hears a lot of layers, more reason to connect with Hannah, take her mentorship up. We'll move on. What do you wish the adults in this room, I need to hear this. What do you wish the adults in the room understood about how your generation thinks about money, work, and ownership?
I would say what the adults in this room need to know about our generation is we're trying to do the same thing, just a different way. So like our goal is to have financial freedom, to have families and, chase greatness. But our way about doing it is different because we're in a different time. Like a lot of people are starting businesses because there's like lack of uncertainty or lack of certainty in jobs now. Like people are going to college, graduating, and not able to find jobs. So, I mean, when you're left with no option, you gotta figure out a way to make money. You gotta figure out a way to, you know, feed yourself, feed your family. So I would say we're really trying to do the same thing. Like we're on the same page. We just might be reading like a different, you know, book or translation of it, but we're trying to do the same thing. It's just a different way about doing it.
Can I have one different?
Absolutely.
Be that guy.
No, be that guy.
I know you got a lot of OGs in the room. My fault. But I also want the older generation, I explained this to my parents a lot as well, to understand is like, we also grew up watching you all do your best with us. And I feel like, because we're like 28, generation before that is probably one generation away from really slavery. Like, you know what I mean? Like my mom's mom was a slave, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the transition from that time period for our culture is not necessarily that far removed. So like we have that drive to really like shift. And then also too, we have this phone all the time. So we're always seeing the opportunity of what could be. So I also want you guys to understand, young people, they also are fueled by that drive, and they also have a lot more tools and accessibility. And you gotta come to terms with the fact that more than likely is how life is supposed to progress. We're gonna do things better than you and faster than you, but it doesn't mean we're wiser than you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta still give them grace, but understand that they might accelerate and be able to reach these thresholds of capital quicker than you, but it doesn't mean that they're wiser than you. So gotta give the young OGs that grace.
Okay, and so parents, did you take note? I hope you heard, you understood, and you'll give our students, our kids, more grace. I started by saying, I'll be the first to say I needed to hear that. The parents in the room that did bring generational wealth, Erica, she knows in the back. She has her young sons back there. Andre is my teenager. He's actually being mentored under Colin as we speak. Colin is 26 years old, and he's mentoring this 17-year-old.
Yes, sir.
Our MC, Tremaine, family photo with the little guy in the front. Just exposure, proximity. The generational wealth, it starts with what we can expose them to. Because as Nathan stated, you're doing the best that you can do. And beyond what we were learned, what we were taught, what we had access to, now we get in rooms where that can be expanded. What we may not have had, let's look at the room to pour that into them. Thank you. Back to you, Hannah. Hey. Nathan, did we skip a question for you? You chimed back in, but yeah, let me get back to a question for you, and then we're gonna go back to Hannah.
Taking the time.
Many of us are the first in our families to invest, and we carry money beliefs. Every month, trauma, we inherited that without choosing. How does someone rewire the money story they grew up with? You essentially answered that, but anything else you want to add?
I think you speak on like, can you say it one more time?
Many of us are the first in our families to invest, and we carry money beliefs, even money trauma. We inherited without choosing. How does someone rewire the money story they grew up with?
That's real. I think, to be short, it's experiences. And when I work with a lot of young people as well, young individuals, I let them know, like, depending on the experiences that you have, like let's say you accumulate a lot of money or you accumulate a certain threshold, that's gonna come with you figuring out who people really are. And sometimes it's, let's say like you're the first millionaire in your family or you're the first person to reach a certain threshold, there is a weight that has to be carried. And like me, I'm 28, but when I was 20 years old, I was in Morehouse, I was in college making millions of dollars. And what that did was it exposed me to so much trauma within my family from money standpoint. But that also, I think there was some lady speaking on the first panel. She was killing it. She was talking about how, like, you have to also take care of yourself. So I feel like
Catherine Gomez.
Yes, man. I don't know if she's still in the room, but that's a part of success that a lot of people don't talk about. But when you win and you are successful, you reach these thresholds, like, life is tough. And I don't want to take it, I know we don't have too much time, but that's a real burden now that as I'm almost 10 years in, I still teach on the investing and all of that, but more so the mental aspect of who you have to evolve to become to maintain the wealth. Because that's like harder than actually making money.
It's all going back to mindset becoming. Hannah, as we keep up, time, I'm gonna give them one more moment to just answer this last closing remark from the panel. What do you want every young person and every person young at heart to do tomorrow morning to start becoming more?
I'm so big on routines. So find a routine. It doesn't have to be extensive. It doesn't have to be 75-day hard or anything like that. But just, I would say, find a way to like properly, or what you would deem as properly, set the tone for the day, whether that's through Bible study, time with God, reading a book, a quick workout, something, cold plunge, whatever. I'll say just start your day off right, because what I found personally is the way that you start is a lot of times the way that you end, and it sets the tone and it builds like the momentum and everything else. So I would say that's the quickest hack, I would say, to implement that, and find mentorship. That's been really good. Mentorship, community, get in proximity like he was saying, and do the work. Be focused, stay.
Yes. Thank you for doing the work and sharing. Colin, one last one. I want you to answer that question for him as well.
What I would tell, you said the younger generation or a young kid or anybody?
Yes.
What anybody, I would say chase your dreams, find a purpose in your life, find a purpose just within yourself, find something that means something to you. And then once you do that, like I said, chase your dreams, work hard, be accountable, hold yourself accountable. Look at yourself in the mirror and like look at the issues around you, and see what the common denominator is, because a lot of times it's something that you do that you don't realize that's leading to a lot of those issues. But I say once you fix that or figure out ways to get better at whatever it is, you'll get closer to your dreams and your purpose, and you'll be good.
Thank you, Young Money. This has been real good. We can continue going on with this. This is the future. Continue to pour into our future.
Let's go, let's go. Give our moderator a round of applause. Give our panel a round of applause. Our speakers a round of applause. Give our vendors a round of applause. Our sponsors a round of applause. Our videographers a round of applause. Our photographers a round of applause. Our DJ a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. We're not done. I know some of you, your feet might be hurting. Some of y'all didn't stretch and your back hurting. Some of y'all haven't been grinding how you need to. Your mind might feel overloaded, but we will finish strong because more is possible. More fruitful blessings, more opportunities, more bricks to lay down so that we can continue building our empire. I said more. So without further ado, this queen said that she has some additional gems to share. So I said, come on, give us more. So I need for y'all to give Miss Cheryl Monroe a round of applause. Come on, queen. I'm trying to make it to the rooftop. You said more? No, before you said more. Become more.
Become more.
Let's go. Here you go.
So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I just wanted to make sure that everyone in the room, because I've heard that you are in different industries. There is $4.1 billion that was released on June 1st, and that came from HUD, and that has to do with the HUD moving forward on bold homelessness. This is where they're giving nonprofits, so if you know any nonprofits or you are a nonprofit organization, you can come in and build out transitional housing, permanent housing, and rapid rehousing. With those, they are looking for organizations to be able to provide mental wealth, financial literacy, credit repair. We're looking for child care, substance abuse, street outreach, employment assistance, and outpatient health care. So if there's organizations that can partner, the lead has to be a nonprofit organization. It opens June 1st. You need to find your COC by, I think, August the 16th. Contact me before I leave. I can give you the website. You can look up the COC. We can get your packet together, put it in, get together, build out these communities, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Let's go, let's go. Now, next up, if you were here in the beginning, we spoke about the virtual passport. So I need Bobby and Amir to come on up. Bobby and Amir to come on up and tell us some special information about our virtual passport.
Hi guys. I have the winner, but I can't say it just yet. I have to wait for Amir. There he is.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
So I appreciate you guys, the ones that participated. I appreciate that you get a lot from just making sure that you have to talk to people, meet people, and not be afraid to say hi. The winner, I'm gonna announce the winner, and then you're gonna tell her what she got.
Oh, it's a she.
It's a she. That's a hit.
I'm sorry.
That's a hit. All right. And the winner is.
Can we get a drum roll or a hand
Where's
clap?
the drum roll? Where's the drum roll? And the winner is of the virtual passport game at Pathways to L2, Miss Erica McRae. Let's tell Miss Erica what she has won.
Alrighty. Give her one more hand clap. Let's do it. So, I know you're probably wondering what you want.
Come on up, girl. You're the
You
winner.
gotta come get this. Before somebody come steal it.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, first and foremost, a gentleman in this room taught me something, but something I already knew. And that was, we always lead with transparency and giving. Mr. Lamont Element. But listen, I wanted to give something away, something special, because at the end of the day, Pathways to Wealth is not just about the money, but it's about the mindset and what you do with it. So, because you are a hard worker, because you have a family, because you have a family, I want to make sure that you have a way to decompress. So in my hand, I have a 3-day, 2-night vacation, as well as, I'm pretty sure you're gonna do the spa portion, but a golf or spa rebate. So all the directions are on here, and this is for you. On behalf of our Thank you. Congratulations.
All right.
All my competitors out there, it's a little bit overtime. The game is tied, and now we have to dig deep and grind and grit.
I said that when this is over.
We have to accelerate and run through the finish line. We got to score, we got to win.
My ankles are quivering.
So before we do that, I did not forget about our last sponsor, 007 Security, our keynote speaker for the day, for this event. Thank you, Mr. Lamont Elby, for contributing to such an amazing event. It's something that's gonna supersede our lives and make a greater impact than we could ever imagine. So give all of our sponsors a round of applause. It's one thing to provide your wisdom and share it. It's another to provide your wisdom and share your resources.
I love y'all.
That's where I want to be. I want to be able to uplift you, encourage you, and share my resources with you. And now, I need everybody to stand up. Stand on up. The glasses are coming off. The frames are coming off. The bios are out the way. The moderators are out the way. The speakers out the way. And now I get to play point guard and pass the best alley-oop that I've ever thrown in my life to the game changer that I honor, that I respect, and I salute. But before we get there, I gotta get to you. 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 Christopher! I gotta get to you, King! King with the fedora, I gotta get to you! King with the baseball fitting that I salute because I believe that your style is unique. I gotta get to you. For the elders who are the game changers and the pioneers so that me and my wife and my family can follow in your footsteps, I gotta get to you. So without further ado, if you got motivated, if you got inspired, if you got empowered, if you received some form of insight or encouragement that's going to help you become more, let me hear you say more. More. If you achieve the initial vision and expectation to show up and be in an environment, part of a community that's bigger than you, let me hear you say more. If you know that you're going to take this information and implement it consistently and persistently, let me hear you say more. If you know that your goals and your dreams and your passion and your purpose and your vision is not in vain, let me hear you say more. If you know that you've done good but you can do greater, let me hear you say more. More. I only have one level. I'm all the way up. And if I can do it for my life, for my wife, for my son, for our daughters, for our family, for our legacy, if I could give more, I know you can. Let me hear you say more. But how about this? I can't do it on my own. I need you. 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 Hakeem, you know I need you. Because together we win. Together we make impact. Together we create change. And this ain't no speech. And this damn sure ain't no show. Because when you really invested in more, you got to give your all. Let me hear you say all in. All in. If you are all in when it comes to your goals, your dreams, your passion, your purpose, your life, your legacy, let me hear you say more. More. And you have to take a percentage of that passion that I just shared with you, bottle it up, and every day take a sip of it. You cannot be complacent, you cannot be idle, you cannot be stagnant, you cannot be settled in the now. You have to embrace it, accept it, adapt, adjust, and keep going. Let me hear you say keep going. Keep going. Don't play about this. Don't play about your life. Don't play about your legacy. Don't play about your goals. Don't play about your dreams. Don't play about your family. Don't play about you. Some of y'all need to look yourselves in the mirror and say, I'm not going to play around me no more. I'm not going to let myself off the hook. I'm not going to dim my light. I'm not going to put my crown under there. It's going to right here. So you did the first part, you showed up. You did the second part, you took the notes. The third part is getting to work. Let me say get to work. Get to work.
Get to work.
I believe in you. We believe in you. Make sure that your actions reflect that you believe in your life and your legacy just as much. Let me say more. Let me say more. Let me say more. Let me say more. Mr. Hakeem Herring, the visionary, the trailblazer, the GM, the CEO, the founder, the heart. Hakeem. Shout out to Hakeem Herring.
Yes. Pathways to wealth, we did it. Pathways to wealth, we did it. listen up, everybody. We started tonight talking about becoming more. That was the theme for this event, is becoming more. And I hope everyone learned something tonight. But more importantly, as I look around the room, I see everyone networking, exchanging numbers. That's what it's all about, the proximity, right? And one thing I want you guys to leave with tonight is understand that Pathways to Wealth and what we do at Wealth Partners, it's not about events, right? It's not about access. It's not about just another opportunity to meet. The key to success over the 25 years that I've been in business, helping families, being an entrepreneur, in different businesses, different arenas, city to city, state to state, the one thing that's the missing key to success is the access. I can't count the number of times I heard tonight that I was sitting next to someone that I'm doing business with next week. That proximity, that closeness to the fire, to the flame, is how you accelerate. And that's why we are introducing the Wealth Partners Inner Circle for our founding members, right? This is an opportunity for individuals just like you to join a private community, a private access to leaders, motivators, visionaries. That person that's your next business partner, that person that's your next mentor, that person that's the next key to your success is a part of this Wealth Partners community. So tonight, I'm offering each and every one of you to become a part of the founding members of the Wealth Partners Inner Circle. Tonight is just the beginning. We have a long road ahead of us. But the most important thing is we have a pathway. We have a pathway to wealth. We have a pathway to success. And I'm inviting each of you to join me on this road to success. And as I leave you tonight, tomorrow, I don't want you to think about what I learned, what I heard at Pathways to Wealth. I want you to ask yourself, who am I becoming? I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to take that next step? Are you ready to elevate? Look at the person next to you. This is the type of room you need to be in. This is that environment that it takes to scale. You know how we talk about gatekeeping and getting it out the mud and all of those other cliche topics we hear all the time? We're here to change that. That's it. Wealth Partners is here to change that. We created Wealth Partners for that simple reason. I want everyone to have access. And I want you to join me on this movement. Let's go. Thank you. Yeah.
Hakeem, they want to know if we still doing rooftop. Hold on. I said there's more. What about the rooftop?
One more thing, everyone. I want to, before everyone leaves, there's one thing I want you guys to take a look at. We are doing a race for patients. It's a non-profit organization specializing in managed prostate cancer and treating that horrible disease. Everyone take an opportunity to scan the QR code. Wealth Partners is going to create a team to race to help fight and cure cancer. I also want to remind everyone it was raining, so the rooftop may be wet. We're doing an after party, Station 11 on North Avenue. After party, Station 11 North Avenue. If you're going, come see me. I got a VIP wristband for all of them.
Trey, chain the doors! Chain the doors! Chain the doors! Hold on, we have a picture up front. Everybody who's in the building, I need y'all to go up front to the stage. Let's go. Oh, you can be the muscle for a second. Don't let anybody, no one in, no one out. Hold up. Everybody to the stage. Everybody to the stage. Everybody to the stage.
Everybody to the stage.
DJ, photographer. Kid.
Let's go.
I need everybody in the front of the stage.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I need you in it too. Everybody up front, let's go. King and Queen, can y'all come up to the front? King, can you come up to the front? Come to the front. I'm standing right next to you. Who up in the front? After this group.
There you go, baby. Now you go get the money.
All right. Can you come up? Come on, everybody up. Everybody up. Let's go, let's go. Hold up. Oh, where you going? Who's going to sit this? Come on, wait. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Slow down. Hold on. Y'all better not be taking no pictures yet. Hold up. We coming. Hold up. In the middle. Angela. You showing out. I'm still sitting next to you. Everybody, let's go, let's go. We got that power couple back there. Let's go, let's go. Queen, take one so you can get in. I'm in the middle. Hey. More 3. 1, 2, 3. How about this one? Become more 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.